What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Season Gaming Bitcast, episode 350. We are finally back from our summer vacation, ready to talk about games. And guys, good to see you. There have been a lot of games and a lot of game announcements since we left a few weeks ago.
I assume we're going to start with the Nintendo Indie World and those kinds of games, right? We're going to just jump right into the deep end of gaming.
Always indie.
All right.
No.
Okay.
But boys, how are we feeling? What you got? Majora's Mask on the next to the tie there?
Yeah. I thought it was going to be more visible on camera, but it's not.
It is not. No. How what tie are you accompanying that with? This is an important question.
I don't think I recognize that. What is that?
Team Valor. I'm going to a Pokemon Go event today, and I'm repping my squad. Team Valor. Team Valor.
You're going to a Pokemon Go event and wearing a
it's the biggest
tie.
Pokemon Go. It's the biggest Pokemon Go event of the year. And San Francisco is home of Pokemon Go. Niantic is here, so there's a big event downtown, and I'll be there throwing Pokeballs. My wife's dragging me to it, if I'm being honest with you.
Don't blame
me.
We're going. This is all you.
Going.
Now, at the risk of being disowned by my daughter, what Pokemon is Team Valor from?
What Pokemon are they from? What do you mean?
I assume it's from one of the generations. Is it?
This is Moltres. Their Team Valor is there's like 3 factions in Pokemon Go, and you have to pledge yourself to one of them, and then the teams compete against each other. So Team Valor is just a group of Pokemon trainers. And
okay,
we're about,
I'm sorry. I thought it was one of the antagonist groups that is in these Pokemon games.
No, not like Team
That's my
Rocket
bad.
No, they're specific to Pokemon Go. So
because my daughter and I run through Pokemon Scarlet, and they do the little stupid like make a star out of their hands.
Hell yeah,
as a dance for Team Star.
Yeah,
and we've been working on that. We can't make it work.
Team Skull. Yeah, there's a lot of dorky evil teams, a lot of evil crews. We need more of that in real life.
Yeah, if you're going to be evil, you have to announce yourself as a team.
Yeah, because there's lots of evil people, but they don't form like a crew usually, except for like, I don't know, cults. I guess I'm saying we need more cults. Or organized crime? Do we need more organized crime groups?
I think Travis just wants to talk about the announced Cult of the Lamb expansion, which is pretty exciting. And so he's looping us back into video game talk.
Go. Great segue. Yeah. But anyway, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Sorry. I was going to segue to yet another topic, speaking of Cult of the Lamb, but no, we
haven't even finished the introduction yet.
I know. We haven't even said, "Hey Hogue, how you doing?"
Exactly. Hey Hogue,
how you doing?
I had forgotten what this felt like. In honesty, gentlemen, I spent a week staring at a lake, and then when I came back to work, that was its own kind of adjustment to reality. And now this is that second time since I came back from vacation. So, thank you for opening my eyes once again. I'm glad to be here. I never know what to expect coming out of Travis's mouth. So let's find out together.
Can I just say that's what she said to everything that you just said? All of it. The whole paragraph. Beautiful.
All right.
I like the idea that she spent a week staring at a lake. What did I do to her? Forlorn.
Oh my god. Oh man. All right, so we're back. Yes, we have a lot to talk about today. So obviously with Gamescom going on, that's going to be kind of the center of what we're talking about. It's impossible to cover everything that's happened in the past 2.5, 3 weeks, whatever it's been. So we'll talk about Gamescom, all the announcements, the biggest games, kind of what we're most anticipating. Obviously, we have a lot to talk about in terms of what we've been playing and coverage as well. So we'll get to that. Before we do that, we've got our usual kind of rundown of things to do here. So let me shout out if I can figure out how this works again. So we want to give a big shout out before we even got started this morning. Vintage Willow gifted 5 season gaming memberships. Legend, as always, good to have you back, or I should say we're good to be back with you, Willow. So thank you very much for that. And Googleman is here as well, talking about the Postal Regulatory Commission. Is that what
That would be the People's Republic of China, Ains.
Oh, I'm on the postal side on this one. I think they had it first.
Googleman81 10-year super chat. Not to sound like a People's Republic of China shill, but Phantom Blade Zero looks dope as all heck. Caden, the Killing Stone, Cairn, Town of Zaz, and Jump Space as well.
Yeah.
Jump Space is the newly renamed Jump Ship, right?
I don't know.
All I know is it's an upcoming game, and I've seen a lot of people say that they're excited for it.
I can tell you, I think I talked about this before, of course, but I was fortunate enough to play Phantom Blade Zero with the developers last year. It is very cool. It's definitely going to hit that action stride. They are extremely vocal about it not being a Souls-like, and it doesn't play one like one. It plays more like what you would think of like a Ninja Gaiden type 3D game, and like that, maybe not as fast as that, but more in that vein of a pure action game. But yeah, I think, I think we talked about this a while ago, or at least I know I did, and maybe on some other shows, of just like, as the gaming industry expands more globally, and like South Korea and India and China, and you see those development teams in those countries standing up, we're going to see more and more of this, right? And I think it's good, because I think we're seeing more, not genres, but maybe more kind of different historical takes, more perspective on different things, and just new ideas that we haven't seen for a while. So I think it's cool.
Absolutely. Different cultures making different things is always cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I did want to ask you, Travis, about, since I see the reference to Jump Space, you reviewed Wildgate, and I did see that they were going on a pretty significant sale.
Yeah.
And there are indications that maybe it's not doing as well as you would hope. I know one of the things that you said was this was going to have trouble finding an audience, given the saturation and how much coordination it took. Do you have any insight as to whether this is succeeding or going forward in a way that they can proceed with?
I know that on the launch week, it had like 7,000 concurrent players on Steam, and then that dropped to like 4,000 while I was still doing the review. And then I think like the week my review went live, it was like 2,000 people. So, or fewer. So it never found an audience. I gave a code to a friend of mine as part of the review, and his response was, "Oh, I thought this was free." And so he wasn't playing it thinking that it was free already. And so I think part of it is, everybody blames that it's not free to play. I think that certainly is a factor. It wasn't on any of the game passes or what have you. None of the subscription services had it. And I think if people don't give it a try, it's pretty hard to jump in. And then also add in the fact that you basically have to have friends to have a good time. It's got all the hallmarks of a game that is gonna have trouble finding an audience. So yeah, I'm glad that they're at least trying stuff, putting it on sale and stuff like that, but I don't have a ton of confidence this one's gonna work out for them, unfortunately.
It does feel sad that we've talked about before, a lot of those games, given how many games release right now and the audience for those games and just the spending trends we've seen, those types of games are really tough to find an audience unless they're just exemplary or catch on in the social space. And it feels like the PS Plus and Game Pass kind of launches would really help in those instances. Is it PC only right now?
No,
it's on
I don't
everything.
think so.
Wow.
Yeah, it's on everything except for Switch. So I got to assume it did probably worse on. I actually don't know. Maybe it did all right on console, but most of the people I saw were playing on PC because you can see the cross-platform people you're playing with, and so if there were only 7,000, 4,000 of those on launch week, that's pretty bad. So
yeah, it's tough.
Yep.
But anyway, I think agree with you, Googleman. I think it's really cool to see all these games. So and we'll talk about a lot more of those with the Gamescom announcements. So Gregors is here from Poland.
Gregors Watroba gives some Polish monies, 50 of them, and writes, "Hello, lovely people. Back from DevCom/Gamescom. Been
Nice.
there for a week.
Hell
Seems like industry is getting back on its feet a bit. Also, Polish devs had a good showcase. Kronos, Valor, Mortis, Lord of the
Yeah.
Flies 2, and more.
So for the record, that's Valor Mortis is one name.
Sure.
Yes, it is Valor Mortis. Yep.
And also, Lord of the Flies is not getting a sequel, unfortunately.
It's a sequel, yeah.
Can you imagine the sequel to Lord of the Flies?
I can, yeah. Do you want me to pitch it?
No.
I don't know
I'm
that I
good.
do.
I'm good. Thank you. That's awesome, Gregor. So I really want to go to Gamescom. I think seeing Gamescom was already the biggest game show, in-person game show in the world. It looks like this year is bigger than ever from what I've seen on all the reporting from IGN and all the major sites that are there and kind of publishing screens and videos. It looks, I don't know about you, Travis, but it just reminds me of kind of the heyday of E3 when E3 got really big. And whether you like in-person events or not, like I do, and I think it'd be so much fun to be over there for that week.
I like in-person events. Gamescom is big because fans go, which is my least favorite part of E3. So it's a big event because lots of people go to it, not because lots of stuff is happening there. So
I know the games industry would be great if it weren't for all these lousy game players.
I mean, that's cool that they can go to but it's the same reason I don't go to like conventions. You know, it's like all the people.
I think
I figured it was because you weren't invited and or banned.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm banned from all conventions, but you know.
But I think Gamescom is like it's not what E3 was, right? It's not the biggest thing in the world in terms of announcements, but I would say it's definitely bigger than it used to be, and there are quite a few announcements that occur nowadays. Like it seems to be growing in that sense.
I don't think there's any question that it has taken up the E3 slot. Like this is the closest we get right now to that kind of 3 days of videos and reporting and news items that are interesting to look at. SGF certainly isn't that. I think you get some of this a little bit for Tokyo Game Show, but they obviously skew Japanese there. So I think Gamescom is where it lives right now.
I would say the part of E3 that I liked, which was about what it originally was before they opened it up and made it more of like a classic convention where fans were coming, it was like an industry event for the industry to gather and collaborate and exchange secrets, and I think that's GDC now. So that would be my vote for the. I think GDC replaced that part of E3, and Gamescom replaced the fun revelry cosplay part of GDC.
I think you guys are talking about two different aspects.
Yeah, but news that players are going to care about does not come out of GDC.
Yeah, it does. You just don't see it there. I put it out via my previews like in the weeks following GDC, but that's how a lot of the news gets in the world. It just isn't happening on a stage.
I'm just telling you that I can go onto YouTube right now, and because of the last week at Gamescom, I'm getting a lot more content, a lot more things that interest me out of Gamescom's existence than I do when GDC has their talks.
You're saying that because you don't know that the news that you saw came out of GDC, but you do see it. It just comes out in a different format.
I'm just telling you what I get excited about on my calendar, and if it doesn't come out in association with the conference, I don't really care as an outsider and somebody looking at my YouTube.
Yeah, because
channels.
you're a fan, so it doesn't matter. That's why Gamescom is for you.
I thought the conversation was which convention really matches that E3 tone.
I missed you guys. Can I just say that?
There's two parts of E3. there's the actual news that comes out of E3, which is the stuff that
excuse me.
People are meeting behind closed doors and talking about the games and showing them, and then you get a bunch of like previews out of that. And then there's like I'm on stage showing you my game part of it, announcements and that sort of thing. There's two different types of news. Gamescom provides one of those things, and I'd say GDC provides the other one.
Well, then you need to get your reporter friends to report more stuff at GDC, because I certainly don't see it, and I follow this stuff pretty closely.
You do see it. It just doesn't say GDC announcement.
Right.
It says
We're moving
preview, and then it comes out like
on.
a couple of weeks after GDC. You do see it, though.
I think
we talked about a bunch of announcements from GDC. It's just that they're
they're
not labeled that way.
I was going to say, I think Gamescom is more of the in-your-face publishers being in front of the stage show type thing. Yes, correct. Announcements do come out of GDC. Yes, they get announced, but it's a very different feel from what Gamescom is. That is kind of aimed at fans and a big showcase, if you will.
No, GDC is E3 pre 2018 or 2017, whenever people start showing up to that event, and Gamescom is
2018.
after that. 2016, I think it might have been. 2016. I can't really remember.
But anyway, Gregor's, thank you. Gregor's actually followed up with a second super chat we'll get to right away here.
Oh, another 50 Polish dollars, and he writes
Zloty.
10. We just call them Polish greenbacks.
Zloty.
10 biggest Gamescom stands were gacha games. China's mass-producing Souls-likes and slashers. Korea is still on games as a service shooters and indies, are overproducing Metroidvanias and Vampire Survivor likes.
That's what you'd expect,
Also
certainly.
known as auto shooters.
They're trying all sorts of names for those.
They are.
I will say, so far, China has produced a lot of games I personally don't like. There's a lot of, there are a lot of gacha games coming out of that part of the world.
Those are two different categories here. So what Gregor seems to be saying, and I think this is what I've seen reflected as well, is that there's a lot of gacha games. And certainly Jeff Keighley takes a lot of gacha money, as you could see from Opening Night Live.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Then China, as a country, is making a lot of Souls-like monsters in hallways kind of slasher games.
They're also making a lot of gacha games.
Korea is still making games as a service shooters, and indies are making Metroidvanias and Survivor-likes. That's absolutely true. I would also throw on, they're making Slay the Spire card game deck building things as well. Like the indies are basically captured by those three categories of games.
Roguelikes
are big too.
A lot of roguelikes, yeah.
A roguelike is just a mechanic, right? So like Balattra's a roguelike, so is Rogue. Roguelike is just a mechanic that is put on any kind of framework that you want in indie land.
So is a Souls-like, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. But I think that speaks to just the gaming industry growing as it is from a development standpoint. We're getting so many games in each genre. It's really hard, as you were talking about with Wild Star. Did I get that?
Wildgate.
Wildgate, thank you. Why do I say?
Can't even remember the name. And also, it might have helped if they had a more memorable name for that one, huh?
But it's hard to stand out if there's 50 games. Well, that's an underestimation of 50, but 1 million games releasing every month, and there's 30 in a genre you like. Obviously, there's just not enough space or time or room. So
I think we have saturation. That is definitely the case.
It's okay. Yeah. Make me play the ones you don't want to play, and then I'll tell you if you should play them.
Gregor, thank you for. Hope you had a great time at Gamescom. Thank you for the generosity this morning. Appreciate you. Good to see you, Michael Sutherland.
$2 super chat. More Soulslike games is what we are getting.
I imagine that's somewhere between a pure Souls game and an action game.
Sure.
Do we just have to include Souls in every description nowadays? Like,
yes.
I think you made this happen, Haynes. You're the one that adores the Souls franchise.
I adore it as a franchise. We've had this debate. Calling everything nowadays a Souls-like if it has a mechanic drives me crazy.
But enough about Silent Hill F.
If it has dodging, it's a Souls-like game. That's my theory.
No game had dodging before Souls. No game had parries either before Souls.
If you dodge, you're Souls-like. You're playing Souls-like.
It's true. It's true. Michael, thank you. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. All right. Of course, we have Tides Picks this morning as well.
Oh, no.
And this morning, gentlemen, we are rather cute, I must say.
Aren't we always?
Oh,
where is my face?
Where's your nose?
For a second. First of all, Legos are not supposed to have noses. The fact that they put one on me is honestly pretty messed up.
All right, well, I have like a weird bump.
They gave you a big one.
Oh yeah, no, it gave me a big nose.
I look like I have a mutant nose that was cut off.
Over this, I'm suing over this.
Oh, you do. You look like there was a nose there that has suddenly left your face.
I have a question. Why are we all pilots? What's that about?
Because we pilot the ship of industry.
Is it because everybody was traveling? Is that the idea?
I think we were traveling. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't fly the plane.
We all flew. Well, and neither did Hogue. Hogue looks like he's sitting in maybe the Millennium Falcon. I don't know if you.
It looks like my ambulance to the hospital, honestly.
Yeah, it does. Why are you driving your own ambulance? You're riding shotgun. Yeah,
They just
I
didn't
like
have
that.
one of those lay down seats. You have to sit up in this ambulance.
Also, did you notice that because they make me bald, they gave me the little Lego,
Yeah.
dot
No,
on the
honestly,
top,
Ames,
which is
you look the best here.
I look like a great Lego, but Hoag's hair looks like a Lego. Travis, you look like a Lego with a big nose and real hair, which is scary.
Yeah. No, I'm suing over this. This is a very anti-Semitic depiction of me, but via AI, and I'm upset. So
This
Good
AI
times,
model
guys.
was trained on certain images that we won't discuss here.
Travis, you look
Yeah.
adorable. What makes you think this is anti-Semitic?
Hoag, look at Ames's face,
Yeah,
then look at my face.
yeah.
Why do I look like I'm employed by Green Guts Bank?
I don't think you do. I think you might be reading into this too much.
No, I think if you open that Lego's mouth, you're going to see some sharp teeth. That's what I think.
See that?
Oh
Now
my
you're the
God.
one that's sounding anti-Semitic, Travis. But I know you're not self-loathing.
Have you met any Jews? Oh my God. No, I
God.
just think it's funny that they gave me a nose. That's not how Legos work. It's not how Legos work, AI. But apparently my nose was big enough to be the exception.
Yeah. And they emphasized
Love-
it,
Why does AI always have to comment on my nose? Which I admit it's
It's a
prominent.
prominent feature.
But why not my forehead? I look like Brainiac. And they're not going to comment on that. The fact
Hey,
that my
Tide,
forehead is like
Tide,
most
can
of
you
my
prompt
head.
the AI with a little bonus forehead next
Yeah.
week for Travis?
Yeah. Let the AI know I've got more things to make fun of, all right? I've got an enormous forehead.
Oh my God.
That's right.
By
I
the
can see
way.
the prompt. Emphasize the forehead. Don't be kind.
Yeah.
Luke calls it out. It's a Jewish Lego if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be hard to put a yarmulke on a Lego. I don't think that we have the technology.
Maybe
for
that's
that
what they
yet.
attempted with that weird hair. But anyway.
I do have human hair coming out of my Lego head. It was wild. Honestly, that's the best my hair has ever looked in an AI thing. The AI always messes up my hair. Makes me ginger. It's upsetting.
I mean, you kind of are ginger, so it works.
Really? Show me.
This is too much.
You've got a
We're gonna
filter
get
on.
banned.
All I see is forehead. I can't see
Yeah,
it.
that's fair. That's fair. It's all forehead.
Anyway, Hoag, I
Yeah.
think you were doing a lore dump this morning before we get into the specific games.
Yeah.
Double
so
flush.
I went to eat dinner with my family last night, as we sometimes do. It's a little bit difficult to get my teenage daughters out of their rooms from time to time. So we all went as a family. And in order to encourage conversation, my wife brought a few cards of potential topics for us to talk about, one of which was, what fictional characters would you like to have a meal with? And I thought we should answer that question for video game characters. So what's your answers, gentlemen?
Fictional characters I want to have a meal with.
Well, video game characters, I think, since we're on a video game program at this point in time.
I would like to form a dark council. I'm going to take this opportunity to make connections for a dark
Like
council.
looking around my game room to see if there's
So
anything that
I
jumps out.
choose as my first selection holder of the Triforce of Power, Ganondorf. Which form do I want him in? Let's see. I'm going to say Wind Waker form because he looks like a daddy. And that's
I was going to say, Travis, you're going to say sexy Gerudo. I know you are.
No, we're going to
To
go
be
Wind
clear,
Waker.
you said your first choice in having a dinner is with Ganon and the version where he looks like a daddy.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right. Because we need that
show's
energy
going
on this
places.
council.
He's not beating the allegations, Ains.
We're not beating the allegations. And let's see. What else? We need some other evil folks. What
I'm
are
going
some
to try
good
to answer
evil
this
boys?
more normally. That doesn't scare people, Hoag.
Why?
Answer it whatever
All
you
right.
think way reflects you.
Number 2, the elusive man for Mass Effect. He's coming because we need some money. We need money to fund this Dark Council. and
That's
he's
just
got it.
President Bartlett, but poorly lit.
That's good. That's exactly what I want. Okay. Also, evil President Bartlett is really important there. Okay. President Bartlett is a.
You're suggesting that President
force
Bartlett
of good.
isn't at least a little bit evil in the West Wing.
Of course he's not. He's amazing. The best president we've ever had. There should be statues of him up. Anyway, and then let's see who else. We got some an evil daddy. We've got our private funded. Now we need like a monster or something. Do we have
I was gonna say he's gonna invite Fazbear.
No, we need something more umbral. Do we have a Let me think on that. I'm gonna find us a monster. So any good suggestions, guys? Not Slender Man. That's not scary enough. I need something that can really do some damage. We need a muscle here.
All right. Well, you think on that. We'll go to Ains for right now. Ains, you got any choices that aren't horrifying?
Yeah, I have normal choices. Travis will call them boring, I'm sure.
Yeah,
let's go with Henry from Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'll have a beer and a meal with him. He's fun.
Gross.
He is fun.
I love how you chose like
they're
a
just
real
bros.
person.
Yeah, they're real. Exactly. Sully from Uncharted. Got to sit down and have a scotch with him and just to chat about adventures.
See, I like Ains' rubric is the "Would you have a beer with this person?" test. It's much more
terrible
standard than Travis's. How many serial killers can I bring to dinner?
Boring. Handsome Jack.
I had it there.
That's my last one.
Handsome Jack.
Yeah. Actually, he's also rich. It's kind of a double for Elusive Man, isn't it? Bowser. Bowser's a monster. I choose Bowser.
You can clip that for any future Doug Bowser press releases.
There you go. Yeah, Doug Bowser. That's a real guy. That's boring. Let's go with. I'm just gonna say Jackie from Cyberpunk. It's my man.
Too short-lived he was.
Yes, he was.
Whoa, spoilers.
Spoilers for a years-old game that happens in the first act.
Yeah, the first act is like 70 hours, though, if you're playing it at a pace I'm playing it at.
Oh, my God. All right, Hogue, what you got?
Yeah, I was going to go with Geralt of Rivia.
Okay.
I love my monster hunting. Love to have some fun there. Agent 47, because I would like to have a meal with somebody that is that sociopathic and see if you can detect it in the room.
I mean, you haven't figured me out.
I haven't, right? But I'm also not in the room with you.
You haven't shared a meal. This is the problem.
And then I think I'm going to go with the obvious choice.
I forget I've never seen you in person.
I'm going to need your help with this, gentlemen, because I can't actually decide between Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth.
That's a Travis question. I don't have an answer.
Ooh, that is good. Okay, what are you trying to get out of this meal?
Just good conversation.
Oh,
and an end cap.
Then definitely Phoenix Wright, because
you think
Miles Edgeworth was a little. He wouldn't engage in unnecessary conversation. He would just politely eat and then dismiss himself. But Phoenix Wright, you'd get some, especially if we're talking hobo era Phoenix Wright.
I was gonna say yes. Post the Apollo Justice. Phoenix Wright.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So then he's a little bit more responsible. He's upped his game to a 3-piece. We appreciate this. Yeah, I say Phoenix Wright for sure. He definitely would be more down to earth and willing to engage in conversation than Miles.
So I'd also like to have this meal with all three of them because I think that would be some fun conversations to bounce off of each other with.
Oh, for sure.
Phoenix Wright, Agent 47 in the room.
When we go to war, my Dark Council is destroying y'all. That's all I gotta say.
I think the troops will be invading your meal before it's even begun.
Good.
Yeah, it's true.
It's good. That's what we want. The dark troops, right? Like, yeah.
Dude, I'm with Henry. I'll have fun and I'll get out of it somehow.
You're gonna get destroyed by my army. Like, you're dead, bro.
No.
Ains's meal is great. It's like, who can I eat with some bros and have some fun?
What would you do if I chose like 3 like sexy game ladies? Just like, you know, like, it's like Kasumi Kasumi from Dead or Alive, Extreme Beach Volleyball, you know, just like
you just take 3 characters from Dead or Alive Volleyball.
I'm just hella horny here on the panel this morning.
Oh god.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I wish I was that cool.
All right, Hogue. Thank you for that. Lord Dub, we got one more super chat before the games here from our good friend Rob Frawley.
Rob Frawley, the second $5 super chat. Shameless Satisfactory plug. Anyone without a PC, your time is now. Console release hits Sep 4th. Also, good to see the show live again too.
Good to see you, Rob.
An exclamation point within a parenthetical.
And the lawyer in me has to say, your time is not now if it releases on September 4th. Your time is in a week.
Yes.
It's true.
That's
You're
correct.
ahead of yourself.
Let's
there,
just
Rob.
point out all the problems with this comment. This will really encourage super chats going forward. Anyway,
Please welcome to the
exclamation
grammar
point
brigade.
actually belongs outside of the parenthetical, and your syntax is all off.
I'm not sure. See, that's a completely separate parenthetical. So I think the punctuation is correct there.
Incorrect. Well,
no, there isn't a separate sentence to punctuate.
Yeah, but that's not where punctuation belongs.
No, you're confused on this grammatically. If there's a parenthetical within a sentence, then the punctuation goes outside of it to complete the full sentence. Here, the parenthetical is an aside,
right.
separate from the sentence.
It is a separate sentence. Okay, withdrawn. Right.
Glad we got to the bottom of that important topic.
Right.
Thanks, boys.
Folks, Bitcast. Don't tune out.
Oh, my God. Rob, thank you for the super chat, my friend.
Also, I would like to second his shameless plug for Satisfactory. That game is amazing. Not enough people have played it. It is
cool. Will it work on console?
Good. Oh, I doubt it. It barely works on PC last I played it. So my thoughts on console, I mean, the controls will work on controller. I played it on controller, I believe.
I figured a CPU would burn out somewhere along the lines.
It is the CPU I would be scared of with this game. So we'll see how much optimization they've done.
So Series S, got it.
Definitely. I would say Xbox One S.
Straight to the Switch.
Holding on to that, yeah.
Speaking of, and we're way ahead of
us.
ourselves on topics here. Did you see that Black Ops 7 is launching on the base Xbox One and PS4?
Hell yeah, dude.
Why not?
What?
I mean, how much can they do in cloud compute there? Is that going to be...
You think it's a cloud version?
They gave up a lot of that.
Really? Because I've been gaming in the cloud lately. Been doing a lot of cloud gaming. I was in Texas.
We saw your Lego plane. Yeah. We know that you were gaming in the clouds.
Nice. Nice.
Oh my God. All right.
I was in Texas and I wasn't able to pack my portable Xbox, so I was playing a lot of cloud gaming this week, and I was honestly pretty impressed.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it's not too bad if you have to.
If you have to.
If you have to.
When you
boys, what have we been playing? I know you two have obviously been playing. I know. Well, if you would be quiet, we could move on. You know what I mean? We're trying here. Anyway, it's been a few weeks. I have played next to nothing other than the past few days when I got back because I didn't play anything while I was gone, honestly.
Sick.
So,
fake gamer girl. Fake.
So I'll mention real quick that I came back to preview codes for a bunch of things, some of which I can talk about, some I can't, but I can mention that I am previewing Outer Worlds 2. Can't talk about it yet. The embargo is Wednesday morning, so you'll see my thoughts on that then. And I also have already actually finished Gears Reloaded playing on the PS5 Pro. So I'll be talking about that later this week as well. I can't talk about either today, so I'm kind of useless this morning, boys, because that's the majority of what I've played since I got back, along with another game.
Didn't get into the Battlefield beta, huh?
I got into it, but it was while I was gone. I didn't play anything while I was gone.
You were gone all like 2.5 weeks. You left right after we
recorded
that extra episode.
Yeah, I think Travis remembers this.
Hey, I don't know.
I just remembered it.
So I logged into the Battlefield beta on my gaming laptop, and I literally did the shooting range for like 10 minutes because I couldn't even have time to play a match. So I'm very, very excited for Battlefield. I'm mad I missed the beta. Obviously, it didn't matter that much given where I was and my vacation, but I didn't get to really play it.
Well, you carry the beta with you wherever you go.
But boys, what have you been playing? We had Mafia Old Country come out. Don reviewed that for us over at SG. Metal Gear Solid's out. I mean, there's a bunch of things that have come out. What have you been playing?
Metal Gear Solid's not out, but that's all right. No,
I thought it was.
That's the 28th, I believe.
I could have swore I've seen people posting
next week.
I'm losing my mind.
They decided to do the review embargo a week before the game comes out, which is really rare. So that might be what you're referring to.
Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. But anyway, talk to me. What we got?
Yeah, since this was such a long period of time between shows, I thought I would offer you guys something different from me. I've got a long list of things I've been playing. I don't know what you're interested in talking about, so I figured I would divide it into categories. So you just let me know what you want to hear more about, because I can talk about any of these things. On the AAA side, I can talk about Mafia: The Old Country. On the AA side, I can talk about Sword of the Sea.
Okay.
And on the indie side, I can talk about Tiny Bookshop, currently the #1 game in the Nintendo eShop. Discounty, which might be my favorite iteration of the kind of wake up and do something in a cozy game setting that I've enjoyed since maybe Stardew Valley. Ritual of Raven. Chained Echoes got a DLC. A puzzle game called Is This Seat Taken or Is That Seat Taken? I can never remember which. UFO 50 came to the Switch, which is a game I love and I would be happy to talk about. And the one I definitely want to talk about is a game I want to recommend to everybody. This is the true Hoag's Notes of this conversation. It is a racing game of the type that you would have played in the arcades with like the Sega scrolling parallax system called Horizon Chase Turbo. And you won't remember that longer than when I just said it. But it's a terrible name for a really cool game that plays fantastically well on the Switch, which has like 100 and some odd number of racetracks, earning cars, getting upgrades, playing arcade racing as much as you can take. Really hit the spot for me while on vacation, not looking to think too much, and got to play fun racing with sweet music and functional graphics on the Switch, which is not always the case.
Yeah, so when you said that name, I was like, I know that name from a while ago. That game came out in 2018.
Yeah. No, I'm not telling you that it's new.
No,
I'm telling you that's what I was playing.
Yeah, I remember it because it obviously was playing on like the old Outrun games and some of those classics. So
they even have a DLC called Summer Vibes in which you get a convertible with the 2 people in it like Outrun.
Right.
Fantastic stuff.
Good
Could not recommend it more. $20. Play it for eons. It's got so much content in there.
Cool. Did you play Mafia as well, Travis?
Yeah, I played a whole lot of it. I think I'm almost done.
All right. Well, talk to me about that, boys. How is it?
I would not describe it as AAA, but it is a very good AA game.
That is 100% a AAA game. Are you kidding me now, Travis?
How so?
How so?
Yeah.
The advanced animations, the high-res textures, the size of the map, the voice acting, all of the polish that goes into a AAA game. It's clearly a high-budget title.
I would say it is a AA budget title.
Really?
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, it still has like that not quite AAA vibe to it in terms of gameplay and some of the stuff. You're like, okay, well, this isn't like a GTA or something like that. But I think Mafia has always been kind of in the AA category.
You can't say you're only AAA if you have an open world. That cannot be the distinction.
Well, they do have an open world. That's not my distinction.
They don't.
Okay, so when you get in your car and you can go anywhere you want, what do you call that?
You can't go anywhere you want. Try going 5 feet off of the line of the story in Mafia: The Old Country. It'll tell you have 14 seconds to get back to where you're supposed to be.
During which missions?
During all of the missions.
I mean, I did my own thing in that game.
What do you say, Chad? Who's played Mafia? Who's right here? What's going on?
I mean,
let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I would agree with Luke's analysis. Mafia is AAA the same way Avowed and Darksiders is AAA. It's AA+. Yeah,
Avowed is AAA. Darksiders is not.
Okay. I didn't realize that you were the person that got to decide what was AAA and what was AA. Here I was thinking it was a kind of a vague, opaque definition here. But
so
now I know. Now I know.
I don't care. How's the game?
I also don't care. I was saying it as an aside and then was interrupted by Hogue, just to be clear.
It's what I'm known for.
It is what you're known for. It's what the internet calls you. So yeah, AA, AAA, it is a pretty good game. I would describe it as a game that does nothing new. It's the story is good, but also I feel like every single step of the way, you know exactly what it's going to do because you have seen any Mafia movie and it does every beat of a Mafia movie that you've seen before. You're just like, all right, this is the part where that thing happens. And
I felt that way when they introduced the daughter character. I was like, okay, I got the next 10 hours of this game down.
Yeah. And there's like, oh, you got to become a made man. You got to do that in every Mafia game. So yeah, they're doing all the beats, and the longer you play it, the more you're like, okay, not really surprised. The combat is not anything approaching like a super fun shooter. You're kind of just like playing through it. It's got like some stealth mechanics that are okay. It's got some shooting mechanics that are okay. Everything is sort of fine. And I would say the same thing about the driving, which there's kind of a lot of. There's like racing sequences and stuff. It is, I would say, accurately imprecise given the time period. Like it feels like you're driving old school cars. They're like very slippery. We got those bald wheels, those old timey wheels on them.
Tires.
Yeah. They've got a lot of like that where you're driving and you're like, this feels like what I think an old car would have driven like.
Well, I will say I think they did that job better in the old country than like the original Mafia did.
Oh,
not
for
the
sure.
remake. But like that was the attempt in Mafia 1 way back in the day was to say this is a jalopy, this is the era. Yeah. And they did that with just terrible controls.
Yeah, it feels really unique and novel in an interesting way when you're driving the old school cars, even if it is, you're like racing and you're like sliding across a corner. It is a little jarring, but you get used to it and it's fun. So yeah, I will hopefully finish this one. I feel like I'm pretty close to the end based on everything, but for me, it's like a 7 out of 10. It doesn't really try anything new, but it's a very solid rendition of another Mafia game, and it's cool. It's
extremely solid. I mean, that's the feeling I have playing it, is that it is a very solid game. I agree with Travis. It's not trying to do anything new. I know that tends to rankle Travis on the scoring metrics of these things.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to do anything new, this is the kind of game I want to come out of that type of design process, which is it's very aimed at what it wants to be. It absolutely is The Godfather 2. It is absolutely every Mafia game in the Mafia series. But it doesn't reach the heights of storytelling that Mafia 3 did. It doesn't have kind of the nested narrative. And so I was a little bit saddened about how direct and kind of simple the Old Country story is. But as a game, I enjoy going down there and playing it. And so, yeah, it's probably an 8 to me, but it would be floating between a 7 and an 8.
Okay. Yeah, Don reviewed it for us. I believe he gave it an 8, if my memory serves, and pretty similar commentary from you guys. This doesn't do anything revolutionary, but it's a very good game. So I was never hugely interested in this one. I haven't played a lot of the Mafias, so but glad to hear it came out okay. I think it felt like the hype for this one was maybe stronger than what I'm hearing in terms of reception. Like it seemed like people were really high on this one, and it's kind of landed like it's good.
Yeah, there's a group of people who really have a fondness for Mafia, and it's like it exists in a pocket where they can still try some new stuff if they want, and we've seen them do that. I remember with Mafia 3, there was like no hype for that game that I could see, but the team was so passionate about it. They did like all this cool stuff, because I was at the E3s where like they showed the game out, and they had like a New Orleans band hired to like march down the E3 halls and just like playing, trumpets, and it was like brass instruments running down the hallway. And I was like, dude, these guys really think that they've got something on their hands, and then you play it and you see why. But I think this is a series that has like an audience big enough for sequels, and probably not a person more than that would be my guess, right? It's got like a niche, but it's a cool niche. I'm glad that these games exist. I want this team to continue trying new stuff. And it's cool to see this type of like story-based single player game exist outside of like the huge AAA tentpoles we already know about. But yeah, this one feels like a bit safe, just from title to product. Like Old Country, okay, I think I know what that's going to be. I'm going to be in Italy.
You kind of know what you're getting.
Small town. I'm probably going to be on a vineyard at some point. Oh yeah, they did all that stuff. Like
they did a really good job rendering fruits, though. They got some great fruit.
Nice.
Yeah. And I will say all the characters are really amazing. Like they have a lot of unique personality. You hang out with the crew, and it's sort of like a sitcom where like exactly how every person's going to behave, because they are so predictable in their nature. They just have like these archetypes. It's like, the reckless guy who's always going to make the wrong decision because he's so cocky, and then they have all these they have these archetypes where you're just like, all right, I know exactly how every character is going to act in any given situation. And
and I think video games have gotten pretty good at it overall, but they do a lot of good travel talking. They have a lot of good narrative. If it's simple and it's not trying anything new. It's so focused that what they focused on, they really hit well, I think.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I agree.
Cool. Very cool. All right.
What else have I
Sort
been
of.
playing? I've been catching up on all the games. I'm trying to get back into Expedition 33, which, as you know, I didn't beat.
Okay.
I played Monster Train 2, which is on my list for a while now, and I played a lot of that
Supposedly
game.
excellent.
It is so good. It is
Yeah.
so good. It's one of those games where, like, the first couple runs, I was like, okay, this is kind of exactly the same thing as Monster Train 1, and then some stuff happens, and they keep unlocking things, and there's a couple twists in there that modulate kind of how that game works and expand greatly the options. And so I ended up being pretty impressed by it.
I believe we
yeah.
gave that a 9. I think it's really highly regarded.
I think I would give it a 9 probably. It gets pretty deep the longer you go. That
okay.
game also features Cult of the Lamb and Balatro and Inscription. There's like references and there's characters from those games.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you meant. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
The indie pollination does that. If you get to a certain size of acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody's gonna have Shovel Knight, right?
Yeah, it's an 88. It's nearly a 9 on OpenCritic. Yeah, I thought so.
It feels a little high for me, but
how much did you play?
I might play too many indie strategy games where I'm not
how much
enamored
did you
with
play?
it. I don't know, a couple hours.
Okay. Yeah, so you didn't get to the part where it really opens up, man. There's like 2 big changes that happen in that game where you're like, oh, I did not know that was going to be in this game, and it kind of changes stuff. So
I love that.
I probably put like 25 or 30 hours into it. I played a lot of it in like airports and Airbnbs while I was traveling, and
it's a little noisy for me, both visually and musically. So I don't love that vibe.
Oh, Monster Train's aesthetic is terrible. It always has been. Like the title of the game is silly. The fact that you're on a train and going into hell or heaven is like silly. All the art is gross to look at, like just no art design. But like it's just a well-designed card game, and it gets better the more you play it. So
well, I might try it again after this show, because I certainly have it sitting there and I've played it a few hours and I know it is highly regarded. I have not hit that point for me.
Yeah, you'll if you play more of it, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's like 2 really big things that change the game. Anyway, I've been playing that, and then in terms of like reviews and previews, it's been a very slow August. IGN also suffered some layoffs at the beginning of the month that I think slowed down their ability to like do reviews and stuff. So I'm kind of just sitting on my hands. I'm starting a review tomorrow, which should be fun. Good time, and it's going to be really busy September for me, but this entire month has basically been like me catching up on stuff. I'm writing some articles. I did a preview last week, some small things here and there, but not anything.
Catch up time's good though.
Yeah, exactly.
The rest of the year
I've been
looks
enjoying
nuts.
it.
So
yeah, also, and I also have just been extremely busy with other stuff, so the timing is kind of perfect here, to be honest.
Yeah,
because I had some real work stuff going on the past couple weeks, and September is just my busiest month for all aspects of my life. So I'm kind of quiet before the storm situation over here. But I caught up on a lot of games. Play more Kingdom Come. I'm probably forgetting a few. I definitely marked a few games off of my priority.
How far are you in Expedition?
Not far. No.
Okay.
I was gonna say it's not long enough to be far. Like for the time Travis puts into games, it should either be not started or done.
Yeah, I will beat that game when I start getting into it. Right now, I'm just trying to do that thing where I don't go long enough without playing it where I completely forget how to play. So I'm like checking in and like keeping it warm because I know I'm going to beat this game eventually. But
I get that.
Not today. There's another game I beat really recently, and I wanted to talk about it. I can't remember.
I'll be curious to see where you
Donkey
land on
Kong.
Expedition. Given,
no, I didn't beat Donkey Kong, although I did play quite a bit of Donkey Kong, and I'm at the part where I'm thinking it's a little too simple, and somebody told me that once you get powers, then it starts to really open up, and I have not gotten any powers yet. So that should tell you how far I am in that one, which is
not very far. Yes.
You're not very far at all.
Yeah, I'm in the water. I think the first
That's the first level.
Yeah, there's water raising up. So I played this game on a flight, and that's all I've played it for. So you know what I mean?
Fair.
Yeah.
Ains, did you wind up taking Donkey Kong down?
No, because I took it with me and I played, I think, for like an hour on the one flight and nothing since. So I'm on layer 13 or 14.
Okay.
You know, I'm pretty late. I have all the powers now.
Auguring into the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, I'm pretty late in it. I still love it, but I do wish that it, I don't know how to describe it. So, you know, initially I was like that water level that Travis is on, right? The early one. And then some of those early levels, it was like, okay, this is going to expand and you'll do new things by each level. And you kind of do, but not to the level that I hoped. I really hoped that it was going to be a little more Banjo-Kazooie, Mario Odyssey. And it is a little simple for my taste, but I still love it. So it's not like a 10 for me. But I still really enjoy it.
I remembered which game I beat.
Go.
Okay. What'd you beat?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
I beat Tears of the Kingdom finally, and that game is a 10 out of 10. I actually think
Tears is
that
awesome.
Game, I think that game is what people said Breath of the Wild was. Like Breath of the Wild.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
I think Breath might still be the better game, but I like Tears a lot. Yeah, I don't know that it's that controversial.
Oh, I would say I've heard, again, everything's anecdotal here, but like Alex and all the people I talk to who have played those games prefer Tears.
Tears is a better game for sure.
They're both great, but the Tears gets into the stuff that I've talked about in this space and in others that I don't like so much, which is that let's have this open-ended creativity so our puzzles don't have to lock in, and so you can just do whatever you like, and we hope you built a machine for this, and this bridge may or may not collapse because our physics isn't perfect. And Breath of the Wild has some of that, but not nearly as much as Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I think if you're just looking at it from perspective of like puzzles, but I would say that I'm the exact opposite of you in that I like it when they require you to get creative to complete a puzzle and there's not like a straightforward answer. I mean, both are good, right? You have like your puzzle games where they work really hard to make sure there's only one right answer, and then there's games where you can kind of get by through some of the stuff just by being clever enough and expressing
which always
yourself
feels messy to me and doesn't feel like I progressed in a manner that is satisfying.
How much of that game did you play?
Tears?
Yeah.
3/4 of it, maybe.
Okay. Did you get auto build?
Did I get auto build? I don't think so.
Big feature in the game. So there's a point in the game where you get a feature called auto build where you basically it makes the building thing a lot easier, and it also makes like canon things that you can unlock that like basically takes some of the guesswork out of building. And anyway, I underestimated that game a lot. I played it for 10 hours and I was like, wow, this game is awesome. And then I think I played it a little bit more before putting it down. For this one, I started from scratch and I was like, I'm going to beat this damn game because I got some time this month. And I played a crap load of it. It was very hard to put down. And the farther I got in it, the more I started unlocking stuff that made me appreciate the game more. And the story is surprisingly good. And the twist at the end, I was like, God damn, I did not see that coming. It was very cool. 10 out of 10. I know it's a 10 out of 10.
I definitely don't have the information on the ending or anything like that. But yeah, maybe I didn't get as far as I thought the first time I played it. It's hard to tell where you're in one of these Breath of the Wild games.
It is, especially since it's non-linear. But I would say there's a point in the game, Hogue, where things stop being a little they like force you to build things by hand, and you end up building a lot of shitty stuff that breaks like in the early half of the game. And that sort of, I think they force you to do that because you have to learn those fundamentals to understand how the game works. And then later on in the game, they like take the training wheels off and provide tools to get rid of that part of the game. One of which is auto build, which is like a power you get later on. And it's so good. It's so good.
I do really like it. Yeah. I don't think it's controversial to say I like Breath of the Wild better. I like that design better. But I like Tears of the Kingdom a lot.
Yeah.
2 comments after you guys started this conversation. Agreed. Breath of the Wild is like a 7, 8 out of 10, but Tears of the Kingdom's a 10, followed by Breath of the Wild is the better game. So it just goes to show.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got opinions here. For me, Breath of the Wild was always like an 8, solid 8 out of 10. I liked it, tried some new stuff. I think Tears of the Kingdom takes that idea and builds on it in so many important ways, and then also takes some pretty big swings with story stuff that I was very surprised and refreshed to see come out of that series. So I'm I mean, I knew this game was going to be good. I did an article like maybe a year and a half ago about the speedrunners and glitch community around Tears of the Kingdom, and this was before I had played a great deal of it, and it really made me gain a deep appreciation and admiration for the Tears of the Kingdom community. And so this is one that I've always been wanting to play, and it's great to finally feel like I'm in the club. One of the downsides of writing reviews for IGN, as many as I do, is I often do not get to choose which games I play. And so this is one on my list that I knew I had to get around to. And
Nice.
I'm stoked I beat it.
It's good.
Cool.
I'll play it more after Monster Train 2.
Okay.
I probably will not. But
honestly, Ains, I think you'd probably like it eventually, but you would not be able to get through the first like 20 hours probably.
I was actually
Ains isn't getting off the Sky Plateau, man.
Yeah, probably not.
It's like, this is too much.
I think I put like 10 hours into it. I bought it at launch, and I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. It's not for me.
These two games are better than fine, Ains, but I'll allow it because you're the host and you can kick me off.
Breath of the Wild is fine. It's exactly fine. Yeah. But I've ranted about my thoughts on Breath of the Wild for many times, so I won't do it here. I did want to ask you, Hogue, you mentioned Sword of the Sea.
I did.
It created waves, no pun intended, at Summer Game Fest. I know a lot of people were kind of raving about that one. I think it's a PS Plus premium or whatever release, so I think there's more or extra, whatever the hell the tier is. And so I've seen a lot of people saying good things about it. What are you thinking?
It's quite good. It is a vibes game, right? It's one of those games where you're not invested too much in a story or characters or anything like that. They put some nice music on. They give you some cool visuals. You go and you surf on your floating sword across the sand dunes that are undulating like water, and you're restoring sea life that happens to float in midair throughout this place. But it's like a Journey or other types of those games that are based almost purely on vibes. I like them. They never connect with me as much as they appear to with like critics. But this is a very, very good version of this type of game because it's with the surfing on the sword. You've got a kind of Tony Hawk trick system that goes along with like half pipes and things. You're collecting things from various places. And the graphics and music and art are gorgeous. So it's got that going for it, much like an Expedition 33, where you're just constantly aesthetically pleased from the act of playing this game. But in general, I need a little bit more directed narrative if I'm really going to connect with something. But I really like it. It's a very good version of this type of game. Highly recommended if you're at all interested in that kind of experience.
Well, cool. Yeah, I've seen nothing really but good things about it. I agree with you. Those games, Journey, I played late due to all the critical response to that game. Enjoyed it, but I'm with you. Those types of games don't do the same thing for me typically that I guess some people get out of them, which is fine. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this at some point. I think the game release schedule coming up is insane, so it's going to be tough, but it looks cool. So, all right. Before we move on, obviously we've got to get the Gamescom and all those big announcements, but Hogue, you mentioned a bunch of games at the top, so is there anything else you want to touch on?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one that definitely shouldn't go without mentioning is Discounty, which is an indie cozy game in which rather than play the part of the farmer in Stardew Valley, if you know Stardew Valley, folks, you know that throughout that game you have the option of staying a farmer or eventually selling out the town to an evil corporation, Walmart, called JojaMart. Discounty kind of takes that premise and says, what if you just came in, became a franchisee of JojaMart, and then took over the town with it? So it's the kind of dark side of Stardew Valley, but they've really done a good job as an indie game of figuring out what a fun gameplay loop would be to stock the shelves of the store, to figure out what your inventory is, to come up with a system of managing those things, to work out trade deals with local producers. And all of that goes into this kind of fun indie game model on top of a kind of mystery town with dark secrets narrative. And so the combination is two of my favorite kind of indie vibes. And this is a game that loops on the day like at Stardew Valley. So you're constantly getting to the end of the day and saying, all right, I'll just do one more day. And it's been one of the more addictive, successful versions of this model that I have seen. So if you're at all interested in anything that I just said, Discounty, really good purchase.
Cool. Is that on all platforms? I'm sorry if I missed you saying it.
I think it's on at least Switch and computer. I don't know whether it winds up everywhere else. I'm playing it on the Switch. I always like to tell people if something doesn't work properly on the Switch, this one works fine on the Switch. You would expect it from most.
Or Switch
the Switch 2, yeah. But it is a Switch version of the game. So all the Switch 2 is really doing in one of those is improving the load times. So I can't speak to the load times on a Switch base, but it works really well. Highly recommended. And so that's the one I wanted to call out as needing a mention, because I do think you get enough indie games, you get enough games in this space of, I'm a farmer, I'm picking up stuff, I'm putting stuff in my tool belt, whatever it is, that there are a lot of versions that are almost good that I put up with. I sift through this stuff so that my girls don't have to, mostly. And Discounty is one that clearly jumps to the top of the list of things that really work. That it's an actual game that's been designed and not just look at the cute pixels talking to each other.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Before we get to the super chats and our next topic, I will mention Hurdling as well. It's a game that came out, a small game, about a 5-hour game that came out this week. It is on Game Pass, and Lewis reviewed it for us. He gave it, I believe, an 8. I'm going off of memory again now. But it's, I think, like on OpenCritic and Metacritic, it's even higher than that. So it's supposedly a pretty cool experience, one that you can digest rather quickly. So just wanted to mention that. You can see the review on our site if you want to check that out, but it's on Game Pass as well. So a lot of people obviously have access to it. But
that one didn't turn out so great on Switch.
Oh, no? Okay.
This is the service I can provide. Got Hurdling, got it on Switch. Didn't turn out great. Not quite as bad as The Lord of the Rings, but not great.
Actually, he gave it a 7, so I spoke too highly of it, but I believe he was low on it. I believe it's higher than that on OpenCritic. But he definitely enjoyed it. He said obviously it's got its its qualms and other things with certain elements being a smaller game, but he really enjoyed it. So anyway, all right, we got some super chats that have been sitting for a little bit. Let's catch up on them.
Don Lionheart, $5 super chat. Welcome back, Bitcast crew. Hope everyone had a nice vacation. Happy 350 episodes. For the first time since who knows how long, I'm caught up on Bitcast.
Man, I don't think I'm caught up on Bitcast, so good for you, Don.
I'm definitely not.
I've been on these shows.
Yeah, he leaves us comments on 2 weeks, 3 weeks prior often. We have a few people that are just consistently a few weeks behind, which is fine. It's I'm obviously thankful they still tune in. So and Don, like I said, Don reviewed Mafia for us. Given this was our first show back after a few weeks, I wasn't going to have any extra guests, but Don will probably join us soon to talk about that. He also reviewed a game called Echoes to the End, which is another one that
the God of War knockoff.
Kind of, yeah. It plays in that space. So that review's up on our site as well. Pretty similar comments to what I said about Hurdling, where it's, it has its qualms. It's not perfect. It doesn't do that formula maybe as well, according to Don's review. But it's another one that if you like that sort of thing, it is enjoyable. It is a pretty solid game. So you can check our review on that as well. Thanks, Don. Appreciate you. All right. Gregors is back again.
Gregors, 25 Polish boys. Mafia is made by fewer than 100 people of a core team for about sub minimum US dollar, million US dollars.
50 million.
Yep. It's more AA, to be honest, in terms of team size and budget. It's okay, but it's not a game of the year.
Not everything has to be, certainly.
True.
But you can put Gregor's down for AA on Mafia the Old Country. I just can't see it that way.
Unfortunately, he doesn't make the rules. Hogue does. That's
true.
The tyrant in charge of this label, as we all learned.
Anyway,
I accept.
Gregors. Gregors, thank you. Yes, so I think we said our piece on Mafia, but thank you. Appreciate it, Gregors. Fat Boy Horror.
Fat Boy Horror, £5 super chat. Welcome back, boys. Ains, heads up next time. You in my neck of the woods. Been on a Battlefield kick after the beta, and 2042 is filling that.
Yeah, I've talked to quite a few people. Obviously, I talk to a lot of people in the shooter space. It's kind of where I live. A lot of people really love Battlefield 6, and because obviously the game doesn't come out now for 6 weeks or so, they've been loading up Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5, 2042, and just kind of trying to get their fix. But like I said, heard really, really strong things about Battlefield 6 from nearly everyone I know. So pumped for it. Yeah, so I was up in northern UK, northern Scotland. I kind of went all over, which is near where Fat Boy was. I told him offline, of course, that we were on a very tight schedule, me and my cousin, and we were kind of all over the place. So in the future, we will get together for sure. Thank you for the super chat. All right. Gamescom, boys. So we've got kind of broke this down a couple different ways, really kind of bigger announcements and then obviously updates on games that are coming that we already knew about. So I think we'll start with big announcements. And of course, you know, I
there's
think
some
one of the
cartoon bug game coming out soon, right?
Yeah, I think our cover story, as is pretty much everywhere. If you go to a gaming site right now, the cover is Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Bug Snacks too. Oh,
yes, that's it.
No, I would have had Dan back on for that one.
Yeah.
Come on now. Silk Song is obviously real. It is coming, and is coming way sooner than I think people expected. It's coming September 4th, so in less than 2 weeks. If you didn't see, Jason Schreier had an article where he talked to Team Cherry about development, and the way he framed it up and the way the article talks about it is really Team Cherry, obviously fortunate from the success of the original Hollow Knight, which I believe this week passed 15 million copies sold. Obviously, there's more people playing it now due to the hype for Silk Song. But they're just been having fun in game development. There was really no kind of wasn't stuck in development hell. It wasn't that nothing was being done. It wasn't any of these things. It was really just like they were enjoying themselves. They've been working on the game at their pace, polishing it, getting it ready. And from the previews of it, or the people that have had hands-on, and the people that obviously the trailer shows that this is going to be a much broader game than the original. I think that the hype for this one is through the roof. And I don't know about you guys. I like the original Hollow Knight. I think it's a very good game, and I enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to Silk Song. I'm not one of those guys that's like, you know, chomping at the bit for it, but I'm definitely excited for it. Can a game ever live up to this much hype? Like,
no,
the hype for this game is
definitely.
No, I'm with you, Ains. This is one of those where I actually went online and said that Hollow Knight as a game and the wait for the sequel here reminds me of the bit from Parks and Recreation where Adam Scott cannot understand why everybody's so gaga about this tiny horse. Like, Hollow Knight is a super solid game. Really enjoy it. Don't understand how it got to this level of the most watch-listed Steam game, and it's everybody's most excited announcement. I'm sure Silk Song will be fine. I'm sure it will even be good. But I just can't get excited about this one. So I'm glad it's coming out. I'm glad it's coming out as soon as it is. I don't know exactly what the business thought was to hold the announcement of a date so long, but I hope it's as exciting for everybody that gets to play it as they want it to be. I don't think it will at all remotely live up to the hype, even from the announcement of the game, let alone from the release of Hollow Knight, the original.
Yeah, it's number one wish listed game, or top wish list right now. I'm sure it's gonna sell like absolute bonkers here, or already is probably.
It's gonna do well.
Right? I hope, seeing that Travis and I have it in our gaming fantasy critic that we play. I hope that it is a 99 in Open Critic. I don't think it will be, but I mean, it. I don't know. I think the preview video, or the trailer, I guess you can say, but it's a long trailer, and some of the hands-on impressions are very, very strong. So I'm very hopeful for it, but we'll see how it lands.
It looks to me like you would anticipate a sequel to Hollow Knight would look. So I don't know how I should react to that trailer. I thought it looked nice.
Yeah. New character, new abilities. It's kind of like, I'm a big fan of the Ori games. I loved the original Blind Forest. I thought Will of the Wisps added things I really liked. I think Will of the Wisps is a better game and good sequel in that vein, right? It expands upon the original while kind of keeping that structure. I think it looks like Silk Song is set to do that. We will see, of course. So I do think it's interesting that if you didn't see, they are not sending out review copies early because they are abiding by their Kickstarter. Like, the people who supported them are going to get their copies, and they didn't want reviewers getting it ahead of them. So this is just going to launch, and everyone will see how it is.
Was Silk Song actually Kickstarted? Ooh. When the heck did they collect that money?
Unless I misread something or misheard, but we I'm sure like others, we inquired about review copies, and that was the message we got back. I mean, we're also a small outlet, so I don't know if like the IGNs of the
What
world
if they
would be
just
different,
made
but
up? They made up.
they just made that up
No.
for us. Yeah.
No, I just didn't realize that. It's one of my bugaboos with respect to Kickstarters is when you have a functional, revenue positive company and say, no, let's just get all of our risk on the hands of the people and go collect more.
No, I see. Team Cherry is not sending out review copies for Hollow Knight. It says, yeah, it's reported. So, or for Silksong, excuse me. I'm trying to look at the report on it just to make sure. Revealed by Jason Schreier's thing. They don't plan on sending out early copies. Critics to be playing before Kickstarter backers. Yep, and other players. So, yeah.
We do have a comment in the chat that says that Silksong was originally a stretch goal for a Hollow Knight Kickstarter. That's the
right.
character of Hornet was, and then they got it broadened out to its own game. That makes sense, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so long. That's probably why I forgot about all this. But yes, that's right. Yep. So we'll see how it lands. But Travis, this seems like your type of game. I can't remember if we've talked about it before.
Yeah, I liked the first one a lot. I think the sequel can live up to the hype. Games can always realize their potential. I don't know if it will, but I think it can. And I don't think the
hype is realistic.
Oh, you had your chance to say stuff. Now I'm saying stuff. Thank you.
All right.
Shutting the fuck up. Yes, I think it has a chance to live up to the hype because people can be excited about things, and then the things they're excited about can be good, and they can be as good as they dreamed. I don't know if this will be. They certainly took their time, which is either a good sign or a terrible sign. I have no insights here on whether it will be a good game, but I'm looking forward to playing it, and I share in the excitement with my fellow gamers.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we won't have to wait long to see, right? And remember, I actually forget this because I'm thinking to myself, oh, I need to pick this one up. It launches on Game Pass too. Like Xbox secured that like last year or whenever they secured it a long time
ago. It was
ago.
way longer than a year ago. I remember that being like the first time they showed it at the Xbox showcase. I think that was that was a long time.
Might have been 2 years ago. Yeah, it was a couple years ago maybe. But you're right. Yeah, so pretty cool. I mean, that's a big get for Game Pass. So it just continues the great year that the service is having.
Will anybody play it on Xbox?
I mean, I will. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably me too. Well, people don't have it.
Well, and remember, Game Pass launches. You can play on PC too, so you can still play it on.
You have
PC.
to play it through the Windows app, though, don't you? Or can you play it on Steam?
Xbox app is unified now. Yeah,
unified in Steam, or
no, actually the other way now if you're part of Insider. So on the Xbox app in the Insider, you actually see your Steam and Epic and GOG and everything games in the Xbox app.
Travis, if you're not turning on your Steam app, does the game not exist on your PC? Are you one of those?
No, but that's how some gamers think of it, which is why I think that
it's true.
You know
He's not wrong.
Some people think as far as I can tell, the vast majority of PC players have the opinion that if it does not show up on my Steam list, I will
Steam cult.
Even go so far as to pay additional money just for it to show up in Steam. I do not get
true.
it. It's a weird kind of monopoly that they've got on PC, but that's why I ask these questions, because to me it's a sign of like, okay, are people actually going to play it? And I think until Game Pass is like embedded in Steam, there's going to be a whole bunch of people who just don't even consider it an option.
Well,
I will play it on Xbox. There's also a ton of people who like this game on Switch. I think that's how I originally played it. So I think
it's a Switch kind of game.
It is a Switch kind of game. So that's my only worry about the Game Pass thing, Ains, is kind of a small console market getting smaller. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Small console market getting smaller.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to phrase that.
I just, I don't know. I don't know how many people are going to play on Game Pass. I hope it does well. I hope it's worth the money.
I mean, I don't care how many people play it on Game Pass. If it's just me, it's just me. I'm going to play it on Game Pass. So it's fine.
Fair enough.
Concurrent Game Pass users one.
It's me. That's fine.
I mean, I will also play it on Game Pass because that's a great deal. But
Yep. All right. Another big announcement, I think, for it is a Soulslike, and this actually is a Soulslike. Is Lords of the Fallen 2 was a big announcement. Lords of the Fallen, obviously the one that came out a couple years ago that you reviewed, Travis, was a.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, right? It's like Lords of the Fallen 2. That's a game I just played.
Didn't I just review it?
Love you guys. Like,
Yep.
one
No,
day
I know
I'll
Ains
finish
was
the
explaining the
sentence.
situation, but I think it's more important for us to have our voices heard.
We've said this a million times. Lords of the Fallen was not a sequel. They've been clear about that. Like,
I know.
it's a reboot.
Oh, they just rebooted it. Okay, so this is actually called 2, but it's the third game.
This is a
Got it.
sequel to the one that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah, you'll note it doesn't have
It's
the
the third
article, right?
game, though.
Wasn't the original one The Lords of the Fallen?
Yes, it was. You're right. Yeah, yeah.
And then the
Okay.
reboot
They
was
took
Lords of
the
the
away.
Fallen. We don't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
the. And then this is
Yeah.
Lords of the Fallen 2.
By the
We
way,
still don't need the.
I
With the
agree.
same
We don't need.
Lampere
We
and all
don't.
that.
I
Yeah.
agree. We don't need the. We can just cut the out of every title, and it would make my job as a review writer a lot easier just for sentence formatting. This is the end of my PSA. You know what the worst one was the Lord of the Rings game, because it was called Tales of the Shire, the Lord of the Rings game, and I had to say that shit into a mic. Tales of the Shire, the Lord of the Rings game, trademark. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, that sucks.
Yeah. I've been doing that with Outer Worlds too. I just say Outer Worlds too. I don't. It's the Outer Worlds too, but I'm like, I'm not saying that every time.
So you can't
but
drop
anyway,
the from the Outer Worlds because of
Yeah, that
Outer
one's
Wilds.
tougher. Yeah,
well, Wilds is a different word from Worlds.
it is
so.
a different word. He's got you there, Hogue. He's got you. You're checkmate, sir. I mean,
Anyway,
honestly, is the keeping us from confusing those two? Because doesn't for me. I get the names wrong all
No.
the time.
Lords of the Fallen 2. Now you're making me laugh when I say it. It's coming next year. It is a direct sequel. The trailer looks cool. This game, the one thing I like about Lords of the Fallen, this one, when you reviewed it, Travis, is it was in a certain state, as many games are nowadays when you reviewed it and when we played it at launch. They have really, really supported the living hell out of that game. And the state that it's in at this moment is very different from launch. And it's in, I think it's a very competent Souls-like with a unique kind of world, unique mechanics that brings something kind of newer to the table than your traditional Souls-like copy. So I like it. I hope that they expand on it for 2, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, the whole 2 worlds thing where you're swapping back and forth with your lantern was sick as hell. So
It was.
a lot of potential. I hope that series continues too. That's a AA game right there.
Yeah, and obviously it did well, right? Because they released the first one and disappeared for a decade, basically. This one's a sequel coming out basically while they're still finishing development on the first one. Not finishing development, but while they're continuing to support it. So obviously it's done well. So
it is confusing that there is a third game in a series called 2, though.
It's like Prey and Prey. Like they're vastly different games, but you kind of have to reference one with the other.
Yeah, they are. But one was is Lords of the Fallen really a reboot? Are you allowed to reboot after one game? I guess you are.
They did. So
yeah,
I guess
they did it. Good on them.
I guess you are. The other, surprisingly, what's made a lot of waves, and I was, going through everything this morning on IGN and other sites, is Lego Batman: The Legacy of the Dark Knight. So I didn't expect to be talking with excitement about a Lego game coming out of Gamescom, but
why not?
I don't get it, folks. I don't get this one.
Well, this one, it's an open world Lego game in the vein of Arkham Knight, but it has a full kind of Arkham Knight combat system, and so the footage, like the gameplay that people have had hands on or checked out at Gamescom, and like a lot of articles that I've read about Gamescom yesterday and this morning getting ready for the show have this way up on their lists for like most excited games. So I don't know if it's just the want for the Rockstar Arkham games, like people really miss those games, or if like this is like they like Lego games but really wanted kind of deeper mechanics in a Lego game, and this is doing that. I don't know, but I gotta say it looks awesome.
Yeah, I like the open world Lego games.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Skywalker saga for Batman, right? And I love that Lego game, but it's not anything that would get me out of bed in the morning. It's like, great, Lego Batman, fantastic. It's not like Batman is land that we haven't mined a lot of in the world of video games.
I've never seen a Batman video game.
Really?
No, it's true. I mean, Batman is one of the most overplayed superheroes for sure, but there's a reason, right? He is beloved. Batman and Spider-Man in general are the number 1 and 2 superheroes that people engage with from an IP perspective. So it doesn't surprise me we're getting this.
Is that real data?
Yes. I'm 99% sure. You can check me on it. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man and Batman are 1 and 2.
Spider-Man's definitely number 1.
I mean, well deserved.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where Superman sits in that, but
yeah.
It's unclear
but anyway,
because of the rise
Peter
of
Parker
Iron Man.
Myself.
Say it again, Travis.
I was a little Peter Parker myself. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
The story speaks to me. I've been told I look like Steve Rogers pre-injection too. So you know,
just
got a little
put
Captain
spiders on
America.
yourself, hoping and praying.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, what kid didn't do that? I feel like kids are constantly, especially little boys, are having like conversations with their parents about where they can find a radioactive spider. Like that's just how we roll.
Yeah,
I can give you an article on the Google search trends as of a couple of years ago, where number 3 is Superman.
Okay. Overrated. Go on.
Superman's awesome. Shut your mouth.
He sucks.
Then, as you suggested, number 2 is Batman, and number 1 is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Nice. Look at that.
I think that's kind of a known thing. Yeah, and that's why there was so much outrage with Spider-Man IP being owned by Sony, you know what I mean, and not being able to kind of the Spider-Man games, you know, that whole thing. So anyway, we got some chats. Yes, Lego Batman. Stephen H says it's an homage to 100 year of Batman comics, movies, and games. So I'm telling you, man, this one is way up on the list for hype for people. So
yeah, we'll see if they do an homage to the Suicide Squad game. I have my doubts.
Hey, I like that game. We also got shooter? It actually is. I mean, that which was the problem for much of the audience of that game. I liked it a lot. So, ZAUM announced 0 parades. You know, if you don't know these, obviously you'll know them as the developers of Disco Elysium, which...
Well, all right, pause. You'll know them as the company that produced Disco Elysium. The people that made Disco Elysium are not at ZAUM.
He jumped on Yanes.
You guys always do. I never finish a sentence.
Look, I knew you were gonna say caveat because that's the important thing about this one.
Yeah,
go on.
But he's right. From what I read, and you guys may know more about this, but there was quite a lot of discontent around the post-Disco Elysium development, and what is coming out of the studio now is 0 parades. I will say that the you know, it looks very distinct again in that the trailer they did, so that's great. I don't have any idea if this will have the critical acclaim that Disco Elysium achieved.
I have a pretty good idea that it will not. But I mean, Disco Elysium is the stratosphere for these kinds of games, so it's unlikely just by pure chance
that's true. The odds
to not
of it,
hit that level.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So, but I mean, you know, they're obviously going for. Would you say it's fair to say they're going for that sort of theme? Right?
They are. Like you said it was distinct looking. It is distinct looking for the whole industry. It's not distinct looking from Disco Elysium. They want you to be thinking Disco Elysium for this game.
Yeah,
it looks
very true.
Cool.
We'll see.
I'm going to be the optimist yet again and say, yeah, they could do as good as Disco Elysium, and I hope they do.
Yeah.
There is no reason to put your optimism in this project. I hope it's great, but there's no reason to be optimistic about this.
I love that.
That sounds like a very pessimistic thing to say.
Genuinely, I love that Travis usually sits on this could be great on the optimist side. Hogue is, I don't want to call you a pessimist, Hogue, but
I'm not.
More of a realist of just like there's clearly problems with the studio. The odds of them achieving Disco Elysium like critical success are low, which I would agree with. And I'm usually like, let's see how it turns out. I hope it's good. So
I hope it's good too. I really do. And I am optimistic about a lot of things, but I think false optimism is just as problematic as pessimism or cynicism or any other problem, which is, what are you basing your optimism on, Travis? Its existence?
The fact that they're a team of talented developers and the game looks good?
You have no idea whether they're a team of talented developers.
How do you know that? You know my relationship with the studio?
Because nobody has any idea whether they're talented developers.
Okay. I'm glad that you know what I know. You know everything about my experiences and my relationship with various studios. It must be crazy to have all the answers. You arrogant twat.
I missed you guys. I keep saying it, but I did. We'll see how this one turns out. Moving on. Warhammer 40K, Dawn of War 4. I put this on here. It's not in my realm because I'm not a big strategy guy nowadays, but a few people on our Discord talking about this one of hype of saying Dawn of War 4 looks quite good from a strategy perspective, obviously playing in the Warhammer space. You guys, I think Hogan particularly usually play in that strategy space more than I do. Any interest in this one? Any thoughts?
Sorry,
I
what
love
was
the
game?
original.
I missed
I love the
title.
original first two Dawn of Wars.
Okay.
The third, not so much. So I hope 4 is
Okay.
good.
Cool.
Yeah,
say,
I know
Travis?
this game. I know this game is going to be terrible, and if you believe or have any optimism or hope for it, you're just you're a sucker.
Now you're being
Okay.
pedantic.
Sorry, sorry. I thought that's what we were supposed to do on the show.
Stop it. The thing we've talked about before is Warhammer 40. Warhammer in general, the IP is everywhere in the gaming space, so it's hard for me to really judge. I haven't looked up the developers or the history on this, so I don't know how good that's going to be, but we'll see.
Warhammer's pretty sick. Hope they have skulls.
An interesting one, Death by Scrolling. So from Ron Gilbert, published by Microprose, which they were, very apt to put in their trailer. But this one definitely looks interesting. I think the idea of would you call this one like a constant runner, right? You're basically always moving because the screen is scrolling. And so if it catches you, you die. Roguelike type experience. As we said, there's a lot of those nowadays. But it looks interesting, if nothing else. And I think Ron Gilbert's name, at least for some of us old heads, still holds some weight. So, or carries some weight.
I think of him as a funny guy. And I think this trailer looks fantastic. I am very much in favor of the simple game mechanic roguelike. I view this as a cousin to Balatro as a style of game. Really easy to understand with rogue elements and procedural generation. And so I don't know whether this will turn out good, but it's a good idea. And I think it's fun to be optimistic, isn't it, Travis?
Yes.
Rick says autoscrollers give me PTSD thinking of Welcome to the Machine from Echo. Not familiar with that one.
So the level of Echo the Dolphin that pushes you forward.
Oh,
yeah. If I did play that, it is gone from my memory.
It's not that type of game. I think it's a different take on it.
Well, I mean, it's vertical first and foremost.
Yeah, exactly. That's like I feel like those games where you're forced to run forward are mostly stressful because of the 2D aspect of it, where you feel like you're about to fall off the screen all the time. You know what I mean?
How is that different from? I'm just trying to understand. Left to right and down to up, they're not distinct, and you can't see what's in front of you. You can die with stuff you haven't seen. It's the notion of gravity.
Yeah, I think because there's like versions of that where you're flying the whole time, like the ones where you're in spaceships, and I feel like those are less. I feel less stressed about those because you don't have to worry about timing jumps and stuff because you can just float. You know what I mean? And I would say since this is top down, it kind of has the same. I feel like it'll be chiller. That's my impression just looking at the gameplay.
I agree that it didn't look overly stressful.
Yeah. Which I would describe those games as pretty stressful, especially when they start speeding up. Oh, man. Oh.
Well, and I think it being a roguelite too. So obviously the idea will be to, if you're dying, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? You're leveling up or powering up as you go. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But it looks cool. I think to Hoag's point, I like this kind of games that begin simple and kind of let you build on it, which we've seen in the space. So it's good.
Yeah.
We got a trailer for I wanted to call this one out because I'm going to pronounce this terribly in my accent, but La Divina Commedia, so Divine Comedy, from Giamma Games. And Giamma Games I talked about previously last year from Anatria, The Last Song, which was a Souls-like based in the Italian countryside. It did, I think I talked about at the time, it did some relatively unique things in the Souls-like space, which we talk about a lot, but I liked it. Good game, didn't blow me away, but good game. And I think that is a studio that can demonstrate broader, their broader talent, if you will. Clearly, Anatria was a very good game with good ideas. from a studio that was still kind of figuring out getting their footing. So I'm hoping with Divine Comedy that it stretches even further. It's a pretty cool trailer, so excited for that one.
It looked like a Souls game. I don't know what to tell you. There's a person with a sword fighting a demon.
Yep. So we'll see. It supposedly plays obviously on the classic stories and plays in that space. So it'll be interesting to see how it builds.
Dante's Inferno, right?
Yes.
Well, it's the whole Divine Comedy if the title is to go by.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. So another interesting one that I saw pop up on a bunch of lists of cooler things at Gamescom that may have got overlooked was a game called Ground Zero. So it's a South Korean survival horror, and they're really aiming at old school Resident Evil with this one. And even if you want to, you can play it with tank controls. I don't know if you'd want to, but it has fixed camera positions, kind of your old inventory management and all those things from the old school REs. So I originally wasn't paying a lot of attention to this, but I think the survival horror kind of throwbacks have really gained a resurgence lately. We've seen a lot of these, like Crow Country. There's a few other I'm going to forget the name of right now, but really kind of playing into the PS1 era, PS2 era.
Yeah, the one where you're the two girls that sneak into the high school to use a Ouija board.
Spotlight. Fear the Spotlight, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that right? Yeah, that was good too. So this looks like in that space, and I think it was Wesley over at Game Informer was saying he really enjoyed this one, if I have that right, if memory serves. So just one.
Now look, I black out when Jeff Keighley speaks for long periods of time, but this wasn't during opening night live, right?
I'm not sure. I basically kind of pulled through all the stuff that's announcements, if you will, from Gamescom in general, not just O&L.
This is the one that looked like OG Resident Evil, right?
Yeah, old school Resident Evil. Yes.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that.
It's possible I missed it. I really am not. I'm making a joke, but I do. So much stuff blends together during those shows that I do occasionally just have.
It's fair.
Did I fall asleep? What time is it?
That's why I like to go back and just say, okay, give me the either go through what you can do is like go to the Game Awards YouTube channel and then look through their videos, and you can kind of pick through the different videos individually that you want to check out. It's usually a good thing that I do to find what I'm interested in. NCSoft, obviously a big kind of developers creating a game called Cinder City. It's an MMO shooter in kind of a futuristic cyberpunk-like world. I joked watching this trailer. It looked like the game that wants to be every game. It's got like 900 mechanics going on in the trailer. So we'll see how this one turns out. This is one I'm kind of like, I don't have a lot of confidence in NCSoft making an MMO that kind of keeps me engaged. I feel like those games have way too many, like First Descendant, we were talking about, Travis, prior to the show. Mm-hmm. It's just like there's too much like grindy nature to it and too much repetitive nature of the combat in the areas. It just, they don't capture me for long periods of time, but we'll see.
Yeah, those games are very hard to get right because if your loot game and the replayability aspect isn't right from the beginning, you will have a hard time keeping people's attention. Although, as we discussed also, there's not a ton of games like this. People kind of think they act like there are, but there really aren't once you try to actually quantify which games fit into this category. So
yeah, so we'll see.
Best of luck to them. I probably would be reviewing this one if I had to guess.
Fair enough. One of the biggest announcements they held to the end of ONL, this one was Hogue, is Game Science, who obviously did Black Myth Wukong, is making the next entry in the series Black Myth Jean Kui. No launch date, still an action RPG, but apparently a darker tone, more horror elements than Wukong. And I don't know if Black Myth if this is what Game Science is going to do. So for those who weren't aware previously, both Wukong and Zhang Kui are like, gods in the Chinese mythology, if you will. So I don't know if they're just going to play in that space and kind of create stories around these different mythical creatures. But, even if you weren't interested in this, Black Myth Wukong, for some, they didn't really pay attention to it. But this is one of the best-selling games of like the past several years. Sold like gangbusters. It also, I think, is second only behind PUBG in terms of concurrent players on record on Steam, believe it or not. So Black Myth Wukong really did extremely well. It's getting ready to launch on Xbox, or maybe it is this week.
It already did.
Sometime.
Yeah.
Okay. Already did. So yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be a big audience for this one, like it or not, but I hope it's good. I liked Wukong. I didn't adore it, but I definitely liked it. I thought it was quite good.
I'm in the same camp as you. I played a little bit of that game and fell off, but has potential. Zhong Kui is a demon slayer, so it seems perfect for this type of action game. We'll see.
Yeah.
And I think I was reading articles that said that they had trademarked a bunch of Black Myth names, so might be the direction they're going. I've played Wukong a couple times. It doesn't connect with me, so this was not the one more thing announcement that I was looking for. But
it's also pretty popular in like you were mentioning, it's a sales record. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's very like Eastern influenced, right? Like it wasn't as popular in the West, right?
Yes. I believe they said like the percentage of the Steam sales that were based out of China or I believe South Korea, like those areas were extremely high, like 85% or something.
So I think it has more to do with the Myth's impact or the fact that China's excited about the fact that they're making AAA games now. And yeah, there's it's interesting to kind of see the splash it made there versus what I would say like a very modest splash it made. At least none of my friends know this game exists.
It's kind of like PUBG I talk about, right? Like PUBG, people think like people will literally ask me because I still play it on occasion. They're like, "Oh, that game still exists." I'm like, "Dude, it's one of the biggest games in the world. Like it's played by just millions and millions and millions of people."
Yeah.
But a lot of that audience is in different cultures than North America or Western Europe. So yeah, it's how it is.
The articles I'm seeing say that Wukong's initial Steam activity in the first week or so was 88% out of China.
I said 85. I thought it was something like that. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
There you go. That is why it feels like it's a little overrepresented. But again, I'm in a bubble in the West here. So
yeah, 100%.
I like the categorization there, Travis, of the bubble is the rest of the world.
Yeah, I guess they're in the bubble, right?
I think
sort
so.
of in a Black Myth bubble. Yeah, it is interesting. I have thoughts about China as a whole, and I don't know. I don't know where their industry is going, but clearly there's people in China who very, very much want to play Chinese games. So good for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Valor Mortis is one that has jumped up on a lot of people's lists. Again, I have to use the word Soulslike, which is exhausting, but this is from Ghost Runner developer, which pretty successsul series, game. Ghost Runner 1 and 2, and it's a first-person Soulslike. So how that's going to play, what that's going to feel like in my hands or our hands is going to be interesting. I will say Ghost Runner was
Soulslikes until now.
What would that even look like?
That's what I mean. I can't really think about what that feels like. I mean, Ghost Runner itself was very competent from a gameplay perspective, very finely tuned. There's speedrunners and other things that do those games. But yeah, I don't know. But I think the style of this is really, really cool. And I love the trailer. So we'll see how it turns out.
This one, surprised there's no first-person Souls-like. I feel like we've tried everything with the Souls-like genre. Interesting.
This one blends in for me aesthetically with the other Souls type games. This is where I start to complain about Summer Game Fest and Opening Night Live and having all of the slimy, dark, shadowy pops of red monster fighting games that all blend together at the end of the day. So I hope that there's something new here that's worth getting excited about. I can't get excited for all the fighter fights a monster in darkness with black and red games that are being thrown at my eyeballs at this point in time.
It's funny because I actually agree with you and I love these games, right? But I still agree with you because the way you're describing it is how I feel about JRPGs. It's like every time I see a JRPG trailer and you're the next hero that's going to save the world from impending doom, and then the music plays over the trailer and it's just like, Jesus, I've seen this 5,000 times. But I agree with you from a Souls-like perspective. It's starting to feel that way. And it's like, I think that's why, games like this could be a little obscure nowadays, I guess, but games like The Surge were kind of interesting to me because it kind of took those gameplay mechanics, but
robots,
very different flavor in terms of the world and how it was structured and those types of things.
Chopping people's limbs off. Very cool mechanic.
I mean, The Surge was cool. And I think we need to see more of that. I am completely with you, Hogan, that a lot of this stuff is starting to look samey.
Yeah, I'm not sure why we got stuck in that aesthetic.
Seems
because Souls-like doesn't need to live there.
It doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Like the mechanics I love and that gameplay style I love, but you can give me different.
You could always
ways.
play Another Crab's Treasure. It's a very unique Souls-like.
That's a good,
that I recommend.
good example. Yeah,
Yeah.
good example. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, and they are very clear to say that John Carpenter's Toxic Commando is the full title, not just Toxic
Very
Commando.
cool.
That's definitely part of his
Can't wait
license.
to write that headline.
Yeah, exactly. So you can be saying that, but it's a co-op first-person
With John
shooter
Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
From Saber. Saber just seems to be working overtime lately. I feel like I see their name constantly, but co-op first-person shooter. The trailer looked at least cool. I don't know what to expect out of this. Co-op FPS always I don't know, seems a little odd to me. It's never sat super well with me.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Sure.
Who's John Carpenter? Is he the guy that made the?
Are you kidding me right now? You go away.
Come on, Travis.
Who is
Stop
he?
it. Have you seen Demolition Man yet?
I have not. I did not watch that movie in the 2 weeks since.
All right. Well, you've got other
who's John
assignments now.
Carpenter?
Big Trouble in
John
Little
Carpenter?
China, Travis. Right after Demolition Man.
I've seen that movie. Is that
All right.
is
Then
he
you've
a
seen John
director?
Carpenter.
John
Is he an
Carpenter is
actor?
just a famous director, writer. I mean,
Okay.
he's
Did he do
incredibly
Halloween?
well known. Did he do
Did
what?
he do Halloween? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's where I recognize the name from. For some
A
reason,
little horror movie called Halloween. Yeah, it had some influence in this.
And most famously from
Well,
Halloween.
hey,
he
I
did the synth.
recognize the name was involved in that. That's pretty.
He did.
I just
He
don't
did the
know who
Halloween
I-
theme.
Look, I don't know celebrities.
Oh,
or-
did he do
I
the
don't-
theme
I don't know-
himself?
I don't-
He did.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
see, that's how I know it. It's because I've seen the song and it says John Carpenter's like the artist. That's how I knew it. There we go.
Song might be a
Although-
little generous for the Halloween theme, but yes.
That's
Yeah.
true. It sounds like
Yeah.
something I came up with on the piano after about 10 seconds of thought. But yeah, that's
Yeah, The Thing. You haven't seen? Tell me you've seen The Thing.
I've seen the
Wow.
thing and read it.
I was about to end the show right now, or at least kick you off. but,
That's right. Yeah, his name is on like I think the thing.
John
video game
Carpenter's
says
The
John
Thing.
Carpenter's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's part of his deal,
Uh,
clearly.
yeah, it's
Licensed
part of
to
his
name.
thing.
I've seen some of his stuff. I just don't know. I don't know any celebrities' names, guys. I assure you.
I don't know that celebrity is the right term here. It's he's put himself in the auteur bucket, right? So it's like saying a Hideo Kojima experience. John Carpenter has a certain vibe. Now, in fairness, towards the latter half of his career here, I would say that vibe is schlock. And so I'm not sure it's super useful for the Toxic Commando, but here we are.
Well, if you have a game called Toxic Commando, I think a reputation for schlock is helpful.
Schlock.
All right.
That's
Great
what I
word.
want in my game called Toxic Commando. I mean,
I think you're going to get it.
are they going? Try to make a game called Toxic Commando and not have it full of cheese. You know what I mean? It's called Toxic Commando. I'm just gonna say it one more time.
Yeah, it keeps.
Toxic Commando.
Excuse me, sir. It's John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Say it properly.
Yeah. I mean,
The Lord of the Rings game.
as the Lord of the Rings game, as opposed to other people's Toxic Commando.
I don't want
you don't want
you
to get confused with the others. Yeah,
Like, come
it's
on.
John Carpenter's Toxic.
This is John
Commando.
Carpenter's version.
Yeah.
Um,
for sure.
Yeah, we'll see how this one shakes out. Again, I don't know the depth of the level of gameplay we're talking about here,
So-
but we'll see.
My question is, are the commandos toxic? Like they have bad behavior, they're calling each other like they're like mean to each other? Or are they slaying toxic creatures?
It's actually a game where you just go on to Reddit and try to make your point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They're just really toxic to each other. They gaslight each other, like really just bad relationships. I don't know where the toxic is because I didn't really see toxins in the trailer.
Yeah, there isn't in the trailer. I think it's probably a post-apocalypse of some kind.
It is. It's like
So where are the
destroying
toxic?
creatures basically to save the world. It's your typical kind of trope, if you will.
But where's the toxic? I still haven't found it in this game.
You can assume the post-apocalypse has something to do with toxins.
So the zombies are themselves toxic.
I think you're fighting mutants and whatnot.
I feel like they could have made it a little more obvious that they were toxic. Do you guys?
I
feel
don't
that
know what
way?
to tell you.
Yeah.
There are games that
When
will
you-
have everything glow green and have the bio symbols everywhere.
Yeah. When you tell me it's
Um,
toxic, I want to see some slime.
No spoilers,
So
but this county has some strange plot lines if you're interested in toxins.
And also,
cool.
this isn't new. Like Toxic Commando is an existing old IP, so you can
Is
look up
it?
the history. Yes, so you can look up the history on it and see. Because I'm not an expert on it by any stretch of the imagination, but you can certainly find out if you need to. This isn't for this game.
I'll be honest. This looks like I'm going to review this one too. If it's schlock,
But
give it to Travis.
but speaking of toxic, we also got the announcement of Bubsy 4D with Atari in the mix on this one, which a friend of ours or a friend of mine in the gaming space, Kevin Ainsworth, I'll shout him out, said this was his most anticipated
Name is also
game
Ainsworth.
from all of my name is not Ainsworth from all from all of Gamescom, which is something. But yes, I know people are excited for this one from a platforming perspective.
So is the fourth dimension of time like?
Are we at that part of the show?
Do you experience time in a strange way when you play this game? Does time stop? Does time? What's the? Tell me the pitch of the four. It's that good. It's that good. Time
freezes while you're playing this game.
Dude, you're assuming that the fourth D is a dimension.
Oh God. How many D's does Bubsy have? I'm so scared. I'm scared. Ainsworth, save me. Save me, Ainsworth Bowden. All right.
Oh my God. Ainsworth Bowden. Jesus Christ. That's great. But yes, Bubsy is returning in 4D form. Take that as you will. And,
I don't know how we got on the timeline where we get more Bubsy. And like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro are off in the retirement home somewhere.
And Banjo, excuse me, we get Bubsy before.
We haven't had Banjo in eons.
Neither.
Yeah. Also, you just got your Donkey Kong game.
We did. I did. It's awesome. But we did not get, or we have had a recent Crash though. We had a new Crash Bandicoot.
We had a great new Crash, but it then killed the series.
Not long ago.
Yeah, toys. Well, I think Xbox maybe killed the series, but that's a whole different conversation. We need a new Jack and Daxter is what we need, but we're never getting that either. So,
nah, Naughty Dog's too busy pondering the meaninglessness of existence.
Yeah,
that's fair. It's pretty meaningless, isn't it?
We got another survival horror game that looks interesting called Routine. Takes place on a lunar base, alternate reality or alternate history, 80s setting for this one. But again, looks kind of more of like a throwback survival horror, not as throwback as say PS1, but kind of, in the throwback in general. But looks really cool. I checked that out. Survival horror fans, if you didn't see this one, it's popped up on some lists of interest as well. Checked it out this morning. Looks neat. Let's see. Project Spectrum. This is one where the trailer at least caused a lot of hype. So this is a Delta Force developer, Team Jade, horror themed shooter with PvE and PvP elements, which every time I hear that, I get cautious immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how it's going to turn out. Delta Force, I did play on PC. I talked about that one briefly. It just launched on consoles. Pretty competent game, honestly, from Team Infinity and Team Jade. So, or not Team Level Infinite maybe, and Team Jade. But we'll see how Project Spectrum turns out.
I previewed this one. I could talk about it a bit.
Are you allowed to talk about it now?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, go.
Let me just.
Why am I speaking? Search. You do it.
I don't know. Let me just make sure that this went live. I think it went live on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Cool. The article is live. Project Spectrum. So I was shown a behind closed doors demo of this game that was hands off, so I did not get to play it, with the developers talking a bit. And you're basically a ghost hunter. Like, it's one of those games where you're looking at things through a camera lens and trying to figure out where the ghost is, and you're like walking around map hunting things. And then the twist of the game, so it's a co-op game, and you're like going around with your crew and you're trying to find like the source of the ghostly infestation, and when you find it, you're able to summon a boss and fight it and all that stuff. The twist in the trailer was that, or in the demo, was that a creature started to attack them while they were going about doing stuff, and the creature was revealed to be player controlled. So it's got kind of the asymmetrical multiplayer PvP PvE thing. It kind of reminded me of the Hunt Showdown, except for in the Hunt Showdown you're fighting against other rival crews of hunters, and in this game you're fighting against the actual monster is player controlled, or one of the monsters on the map is player controlled.
Which sounds like DBD.
Yeah, except for DBD, that's the whole point, is the multiplayer, and this one, or the PvP, and this one sounded like it was sort of. So I have a lot of questions about this game, which is like very clear in my preview. I did not get any questions answered about this game. They just gave me the demo and that was it. And so like, I'm not really sure if this is like a match-based game or if there's some kind of story, because they talked about the world and the story a little bit. I don't know if there's like a proper campaign. It was very, to me, it seemed early stage. They also talked a lot about the crafting system, where there was like a cool moment in the demo where the guy picked up like a soda can off the ground and then like crafted it to screw it on the end of his pistol and make it an improvised silencer, which was kind of interesting. So there were elements that I was like, okay, this could be cool, but I will be honest, that demo left me with way more questions than answers about like how the game is going to work and like what its angle is. And I felt like I didn't understand it super well after the demo I was given. So to me, it reads as pretty early in the development process, and maybe they're still working to answer some of those questions, but I honestly could not tell you much about this one other than that, because it was kind of a weird demo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just says new horror infused tactical first person shooter.
Yeah.
Combining elements of games like Fear and Rainbow Six Siege with horror and asymmetrical mechanics. I guess we'll see how that shakes out. As we were talking earlier, a lot of these games, it feels like you need the right audience and the right players to make it feel good or how it's supposed to, and that can be tough.
Like they also sent me a press release with like 2 pages of description, and just like the sentence you read about it being a tactical horror game or whatever, I was still like, this means nothing to me. Like this has done nothing to help me understand what the game is. Like I legit don't know if you're going to be playing through campaign levels or it's just like you drop into a match and grind a season pass. Like I have no idea what type of game this is. So I have a lot of questions about it. Maybe they don't even know the answers. Maybe that's why they kind of danced around it. It struck me as kind of early in development. Like there were elements of the UI missing during the demo, and I was just sort of like, okay, I don't think this game is coming out anytime soon, would be my guess.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're still working on Delta Force actively, so that wouldn't surprise me either. By the way, if you Google
Is
Project
that the extraction shooter, by the way? Delta Force? Am I thinking of the same one?
It's full 3 modes. So it's extraction shooter, multiplayer shooter, and single player thing. It's got 3 distinct things. It's a big game.
Yeah, I played the extraction for that, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, if you Google Project Spectrum, put in game, not just Project Spectrum. Otherwise, you'll get some government cybersecurity thing that just popped up on my screen.
Hell yeah.
So there you go.
You just get a Black Ops portal.
You gotta Google John Carpenter's Project Spectrum. That's the best way to get the results.
I'm telling you, I'm adding the Lord of the Rings game to every title now.
World of Warcraft got their midnight trailer, their next expansion for World of Warcraft.
Did it come out on midnight? At midnight?
No, it was during opening night live.
No, I mean the trailer. Did it launch at midnight?
No.
Missed opportunity.
It's coming out before June 30th of next year, is all they've said. Obviously, some fiscal, announcement, if you will. But I mean, World of Warcraft continues to be huge. I know multiple guys at SG play it constantly. I don't know anything about World of Warcraft, but obviously this is excitement in that community, if you will, for this. So cool trailer. Blizzard always crushes the trailers. So I mean, if you're into World of Warcraft, let me know in the chat if you're excited for this one, because I can't honestly speak to it. I don't think you guys are big WoW players either.
No, all I had seen from the people that talked to me about this stuff is that they weren't happy with the way the information was dispersed. That it's a little bit unclear as to what this expansion actually entails.
Okay. Fair enough.
I have not played World of Warcraft in years, but one of my friends has given up his entire life in service of this game. So I usually just defer to him when I got questions.
Fair enough. Cool. One of the, again, we were talking about Wukong, or Black Myth, being a big audience outside of maybe North America. This is another one. World of Tanks announced, or Wargaming announced World of Tanks 2.0 and World of Tanks Heat. Both are considered pretty big announcements. 2.0 is the biggest change and expansion to World of Tanks in 15 years since the game launched. And Heat is a new tanks-based game that is kind of like, if you will, more arcadey, fast-paced, modern than traditional World of Tanks. So this is a big announcement, even though I know maybe our audience or whatever, but little known fact that I've played a ridiculous amount of World of Tanks. It's probably the game I forgot. Remember, was it before we went on vacation, we were talking about the games we spent the most money on? Didn't you ask that, Travis? Like the games that I forgot to say World of Tanks. I've easily spent over $1,000 at World of Tanks.
Whoa, that's crazy.
I have a lot of money and time in that game. I have several thousand matches, which in that game, several thousand matches, you're still considered a noob. Like, it is one of the most competitive and in-depth multiplayer games I've ever played. Might be the top, honestly. It's very deep.
Can't stand those tank controls.
Come on now. But it is an amazing game if you get into it, and there's a huge community for that game. Obviously, a lot of it in Eastern Europe, more than, say, North America. But yeah, that was a pretty big announcement. So I've already watched some kind of videos from the content creators in that space, and it's a big thing. So coming September 3rd, so a week and a half from now, that launches in NA and EU. So pretty cool. And then Black Ops 7, obviously everyone in the world knows this is coming. It's launching officially on November 14th. And this one, their big announcement that Treyarch came on stage for was that it's going to have a 4-player co-op campaign. Not the first time Call of Duty gets done a co-op campaign, but I think the first time in maybe a little while. I don't know. I have less than zero interest in this, so I don't know about you guys, but this does nothing for me.
Which game? When you say less than zero, does that mean you are actively upset that this game is releasing?
Yes, it offends me personally.
Okay.
Which game?
No, Black Ops 7.
Oh. My wife is attracted to the robot, so I assume I will be playing this one.
If you're referring to Milo Ventimiglia, he's a person.
I don't even know what you just said.
That's the actor, right?
Yes.
From the real trailer? No.
He's not known for his acting chops.
Sorry, he was making a joke about that. But just to be clear to all the listeners out there, she was not attracted to any of the humans on screen, though they are professionally handsome. She was attracted to the CGI robot in that game, in that trailer.
This can explain a lot about your marriage.
It really can. Yeah. Honestly, every time she says she's attracted to someone, I get more offended that she married me. She tells me she's attracted to magicians, people who play in the world championships of Excel. She thinks they're the sexiest people in the world.
Wait, hang on. There's a world championships of Excel?
Oh, Hogue, I'm about to blow your mind.
Yes,
there's a world championship of Excel, and it is riveting. It is riveting. Anyway.
There is a world championship for Excel. He's not lying. That's not
I don't know what an Excel competition would look like.
It's crazy.
You just go look it up. You will,
go down the rabbit hole.
What people are doing with their lives.
They have sponsors. Oh, dude,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. In my head, I have like 2 people at a computer that do power slaps in between Excel spreadsheet entries.
No, it's way more advanced than you're thinking, and it's honestly, I thought of going pro.
All right, so Monster Train 2, then Tears of the Kingdom, then the Excel Championships.
Yeah, or you know what? You can actually play Monster Train 2. The Excel Championships are great background noise for that because you're doing a lot of kind of grinding, and there's not a yeah.
All right, what even is this world?
Yeah,
exactly.
Anyway, Black Ops 7, I don't think this game is really for either of you guys either. I don't think we're the focus for this. Typically, it would be me being the FPS comp guy, but Call of Duty lost me a long time ago, so I'm not, especially with Battlefield coming back.
I play these games for cool campaigns, and they haven't had a cool campaign in a while. So
I play all of the Call of Duty games. I just don't really stick with it. To me, Call of Duty is like a 1-week game. I play through the campaign, I play multiplayer a little bit, and then I go, okay, next game. Thank you. Thank you, Father Activision.
That's why the Game Passification of Call of Duty works for me. Is it's like
it's
I only
great.
play it for that long anyway.
Because I used to wait until it was on the sale. I would never play it the week it came out, but now I just play it through Game Pass, and I feel great about not purchasing it. So
fair enough.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're so big, they get removed as quick as you can.
Yeah, this won't even get installed. It's a bypass at this point. Waste of time. I know we talked about it before, but the biggest letdown of the entire summer showcase was that the last moment thing and the trailer lead up to Black Ops 7 was reveal was just, that was a mess. But anyway.
By the way, Bloomberg just reported that Dreamhaven, the studio that made Wildgate, is only sold 130K copies and is now cutting their staff. So
that's a shame.
Wow.
Man.
We got an update live on the show, huh?
Yeah. Or sorry,
I feel
it's not
responsible.
130K copies. It's 130K
in revenue.
Revenue. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look.
Wow.
We can talk about optimism and pessimism and all these various things, but like this is the nature of creatives versus business folks. Like it was clear that this is what they wanted to make. It didn't make a lot of sense from a business perspective as soon as we even heard what it was, which is they're entering into a saturated game space with a new company that doesn't have a name for itself. They're leaning on, I think they marketed their company as from like Blizzard devs, right? Am I thinking of the right one?
Sorry, it is 130K units, so that's not as bad, but still. Yeah,
well, you can't keep the lights on with that.
Yeah, between that and Sunderfolk, which was just 62K, which I actually really like that game, but yeah. Bad news.
Is this Schreier reporting this?
For the record, I think we have to comment on the fact that the chat is now deeply immersed into various Gilmore Girls plot lines because I mentioned Milo Ventimiglia. We have an eclectic crew that follows us here on the Bitcast, and they have a lot of thoughts on who Rory Gilmore should have wound up with and who she shouldn't have. So if you're interested in that topic, please do check out our live chat at some point.
I don't even know what's happening at this point, but yes. Okay. Rounding out before we get to kind of current games or updates on games is we got the first look at Fallout Season 2, which
Nice.
I believe I believe the three of us all agreed was very good from a show perspective, right?
Season 1, yeah.
Yeah. Pumped about this, man. Looks cool. Looks like they're continuing right along with where they set up in the first season. So this will be a fun one.
I'll watch any show where human characters don't have noses.
Is that because yours is so big?
It's racist.
That's not racist. That's an observation of your personal nose.
I don't even think your nose is big. I was just playing on the joke from earlier.
Okay. You're going to get yours, Ains. You're going to get it so bad.
I honestly think that this was my favorite segment of the opening night live show was seeing the Fallout Season 2 stuff, which is
just like those movie.
Which is somewhat of a negative towards the rest of the show, I suppose. But I really liked what I saw here, and I'm very hopeful that Season 2 will continue the good run.
Looks great.
Fallout it does. Season 2, New Vegas.
Speaking of, just reminded me that Twisted Metal Season 2 is out, and I have not watched it yet.
Dee and I started watching that show. She likes that it's goofy, but she thinks it's too violent, which it is pretty violent.
It is violent, but it's
strangely good.
It's perfectly said. I was going to say it really surprised me of it being, it's really goofy and it's campy, but it's a lot of fun. And actually, if you haven't gotten to the finale of Season 1 yet, Travis, that's the one that really brings it together because it pulls in a bunch from the game. It's really cool. They set it up really well.
Yeah, we met Sweet Tooth. We saw the backstory of Incel Mall Cop, and I think that's as far as we're at.
Feel like halfway through Season 1?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Keep watching it. Seriously, it ties it up really cool at the finale, and then that's why I'm excited for Season 2. So I need to start watching.
They should just make more of those games. Why are they making shows?
Don't get me started, man. Where the hell is our Twisted Metal battle royale? Like,
it's such an easy win. I feel like
I gotta believe that Twisted Metal was on the dozen live service games list.
It was. Yeah, I mean we knew that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, they haven't said shit about it. I don't know if they've officially said it's cut, but
If they did,
everything's been cut. So
that's the beauty in not announcing it, is you don't have to announce you canceled it.
yeah,
That is the beauty. That's the Nintendo model.
So we got a bunch of other updates. We don't have to run down every single one of them, obviously, but I'll call out some.
Yeah, I'm going to collapse at my desk if we go through everything that is announced at Gamescom.
Yeah, we have a ton. Yeah, so you guys can see the rundown here. There's a couple I want to call out. So Outer Worlds 2, we got the new trailer. As I said, preview coming this week. It comes out October 29th. I can't speak about it, but stay tuned for that. The Blood of Dawnwalker is one that's making a lot of waves that people are excited for.
Let's go.
This is Rebel Wolves, which was after the big Cyberpunk debacle at CD Projekt Red. Basically, various developers at CDPR left and stood up new studios. Rebel Wolves is one of those. They announced this, I want to say, like a good 3 years ago now, maybe something like that.
It wasn't known as Dawnwalker until pretty recently, but yeah.
Recently, yes. They are working on a new IP. Now we know it as the Blood of Dawnwalker. What they've showed so far looks really good, and basically the early kind of vibe on this one is it's going to look and feel kind of similar to the Witcher world, but really aimed obviously at vampires. So obviously talented devs, look like a cool theme. This one could be really cool.
Yeah, let's hear your optimism for Dawnwalker, Travis. This game is going to rock. I'm excited about this.
I'm pretty hopeful that it's good. I'm interested to see if it has been funded adequately to meet their vision, but looks good. It's a good idea. We don't get enough good vampire games. Maybe we don't get enough vampire games at all. But yeah, so I'm interested in this one.
That's a perfect segue for Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which is another game that is just, I don't know, all over my timeline for whatever reason. But reminder that this game is releasing 21 years after the original Bloodlines. It is coming out October 21st. The vibe on it seems to be pretty strong, though. One thing I wanted to ask you guys about, which at least from what I've seen, now it could be anecdotal, but they did announce that the original 4 clans are back. They are adding 2 new clans, but the 2 new clans at launch you have to pay extra for, which is an interesting decision when you're launching a game like this, and especially in the middle of October. So it's a $22 or $25 DLC where you can get the 2 additional clans to add to the game on top of the full price of the game. So I don't know I'm not big enough into the Bloodlines lore to know all the details here, but I was reading that this morning, and I've seen that people are kind of calling that out as not the best.
Well, I mean, my concern would be is you think of the clans in Vampire as being really important, both for background and plot and quests and things like that. And so the way that you read it from the outside is, oh, that's a big thing that they've held back from the paywall. But I think the other more concerning way to read it is that the clan system and the quests, they aren't actually that important in whatever they've managed to cobble together in Bloodlines 2, and so they felt okay putting what is the standard amount of little launch day DLC behind the paywall, and people are just reacting because they think it's more than it is. So, I mean, this is a project that, if folks don't remember, got scuttled like halfway through the process of making the sequel to Bloodlines the first time, got revived, and then is whatever they're releasing in October. So we can hope that it's good. Hope's not a strategy. We've talked about that. Travis can be as optimistic as he wants about this one. I don't know whether he is or not, but I don't think there's any reason to have good vibes about this project. You can just hope that it surprises you when it releases.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I like the vampire world. They make some great tabletop RPGs, which is where I'm most familiar with them. But they have not really nailed it with games for a long time, and they've had many attempts. But I'm always hopeful that they'll come together. They have some potential. Some of these games have really interesting ideas and elements, and I'm kind of just waiting for it to come together. I don't know if it ever will, but it doesn't hurt to hope. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, I'm definitely more excited personally for Blood of Dawnwalker than
for sure,
by a mile. But I did also just notice as I was looking at Rebel Wolves, so I was trying to see if there's anything about the funding, as you questioned, Travis. They did say it's the first chapter in their new role-playing saga. So clearly, I don't think you say that unless you can have a grand vision and it not come to fruition. We see that all the time, but they seem pretty confident they're putting forth here.
We do. I'm still waiting on the next part of that, the Reckoning game that I got last year that Travis told me not to buy. Unknown 9.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Unknown and Reckoning. Is that it?
Unknown 9 something.
Awakening.
Yeah.
We woke and then we went back to sleep.
Yeah. Did you end up playing that game, by the way?
Oh yeah, no, I bought it after you told me not to. It's really the only thing that you have to say to me.
I was gonna say he has a habit of buying the games that we tell him not to.
I know.
It always works out so
I
well.
have to touch the stove.
He's got money to burn.
I'm constantly trying things, and I definitely don't. But I don't wind up purchasing things that I really regret too terribly often. Even Unknown 9, I didn't really regret. It's just kind of dumb and not fully baked.
Yeah. That is.
Did you know that he beat the Yeti?
I did beat the Yeti.
Yeah. He's mentioned that a few times. He is almost past the part he could have played for free.
He hasn't beat the demo yet. Yeah,
that's right.
You see, I got my hands in too many things.
I beat that game. Like,
did you finally beat it?
Yeah, I beat it, and I ended up getting all the achievements on it kind of by accident. So,
cool. See, you wound up turning me off to the game, Travis, because you mentioned how long it was.
It is so long. It is too long.
Big game.
It's like I can't invest in that.
No, Hogue, it is actively, like, there were points where I was like, okay, dude, we get it. You've tried everything with this game. Just end it, please.
It's how you want to feel. Just end it.
But again, I kept going back to do all the side quests, so I probably played myself out of it. If I would have just done a beeline for the ending, I probably would have felt a little better.
No, I got so much stuff on my plate. I got to get to the end of Death Stranding 2. I am currently re-engaging with No Man's Sky.
Oh, so
Switch
good.
2. It is
I
so
did
good.
that last year. Yeah, it's
so
great.
Good.
It's great. What else we got here? So if we talk about releases, so we've got the expansion to Indiana Jones, Order of the Giants, coming September 4th. So that's coming in a week and a half, which is cool. I really love that game. So I'll probably dive back into that. I would assume we could expect usual, 4 to 6 to 8 hour experience. I wouldn't expect anything too grand.
It was baked into the deluxe edition, so it'll be the smaller end. I was more interested in the fact that they announced it for Switch 2.
Pretty cool.
So that's going to be one of those where it's like, all right, let's see what you can do. Like Cyberpunk 2077 was really smart for Nintendo to have as part of its kind of envoy with Switch 2, because it shows what the system is capable of, but no other developer has really hit what CD Projekt Red has been able to get out of the Switch 2 so far. So I would love to see exactly what you have to sacrifice to play Indiana Jones on the Switch.
Which is kind of comical thinking about the history of Cyberpunk, right? And its launch, that CDPR is the company that's pushed the Switch 2 the best.
Yeah.
You want to know what you have to sacrifice to play on the Switch?
Yes.
Kalima.
Oh
Kalima.
What else we got here? We got Keeper, the game from Double Fine. It's coming October 17th. And I didn't realize they call this now, Double Fine is going to Double Fine. So they're calling this one purely an experience in the sense of there's no combat, and it says on their site no words. So it's apparently like each level and kind of as you go through is really unique and kind of vivid and vibrant.
The writer's strike affected us all, I guess, didn't it?
The what?
The writer's
You said the writer's strike.
Oh my God.
There's no words.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see how that one is. I like Double Fine. It looks very interesting. If nothing else, I like what Tim Schafer does in that space. So we'll see. I'm excited for it.
Say what you want about Double Fine, but they make games no one else would make. They're very unique.
Yeah, exactly.
The
They're
best
unique.
part.
Obviously, we get Ghost of Yotei. We got a new trailer for that. October 2nd is not far away now. We're only about 5 weeks away from Ghost of Yotei.
Don't launch me into October.
And they announced that next year they're going to kind of recreate, I think, what they did with Tsushima with this Legends co-op mode, which will be an addition next year. So that's pretty cool. Capcom showing up big as always. So they same in Summer Game Fest. They brought their 3 big titles they're showing right now, which is Requiem, right? The new Resident Evil coming February 27th. So we got a new backstory for Grace, the main protagonist. That game continues to that's way near top of the list for me in terms of anticipation. I think this game's going to be incredible. We got an updated look at Onimusha, Way of the Sword, as well as an updated look at Pragmata. So I don't know how you guys feeling about Pragmata. Does that one interest you?
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
I am pumped about Pragmata.
Great.
That game looks great, and it looks like Capcom being weird 360 era Capcom.
It does.
So let's go.
It does. Yes.
It's the one with the baby riding on a robot.
Yeah.
It's not a baby. It's a little girl. She's not
Looks
a baby.
like a baby to me.
How many babies you seen in your life?
Like 4.
Aren't you having one soon? When's that coming?
God.
They haven't announced yet.
Over my dead body.
But yeah, I know Alex and Ray both got to play it as well as a bunch of other people at Summer Game Fest. They really enjoyed what they played out of it. And I saw Game Informer was saying that it feels almost like a new type of game because you're shooting and doing puzzles at the same time. It's not like a mix of the two as you go through the level. So
A puzzle
yeah,
shooter.
it looks really cool. Puzzle shooter. Onimusha looks weird and cool.
It does.
And funny and all the things I guess think of Onimusha. It's been a very long time since I played those games. I put the original up behind me today just for homage. But yeah, I don't know. I liked what I've seen of it so far. I hope it's quite good. But Capcom's crushing it. So
yeah, I believe in Capcom. That's where my optimism comes from. Otherwise, I would be like a hashtag not my Onimusha. That does not look like what I want.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, Capcom they're one of top tier developers right now in terms of their output. So I'm with you. I'm confident in it because of that.
Give us an Ace Attorney. We desire it. So
I keep waiting. They brought them all up into the current gen. It seems like they must be working on one.
Oh, they're for sure working on it.
It seems unlikely that they're not.
They left us on a cliffhanger with the last game. So
there you go. We got more gameplay out of a bunch of things, including we got Silent Hill, we got Ninja Gaiden 4, we got Crimson Desert. There's a bunch of other things that obviously have been looked at too. Is there anything else that really jumped out to you guys that we didn't touch about?
The Rogue Ally looks expensive. Pete Parsons.
Yeah.
CEO thing.
Well, no, not on our list. I meant games.
Okay. All right. I thought we were wrapping up. All right. I'll see you guys next week.
I guess that's a no. So we'll move on.
No, nothing jumped out at me. I mean, I think the one that you have on the rundown that we haven't talked about is that I continue to think Replaced looks awesome. I hope it comes out eventually.
Yes.
I continue to think Ninja Gaiden 4 is sick.
Yeah, we got a new story trailer for Ninja Gaiden 4, and that's not far off either. I mean, that's coming out really soon. And then Replaced, I saw Ryan McCaffrey just did an updated preview of it. He really, really enjoyed it, and now they're just saying 2026, which again is crazy considering it was announced however many years ago now. And I played it last year. We played it at Summer Game Fest, so I mean, it's going to be at least another 2 years before release since playing it, which is for a 2D side-scrolling game seems extensive, but maybe a small team. I don't know, but it looks cool.
Everybody can just point to Silksong and say it's not 7 years.
It's true. Fair. Yeah, on the ROG Ally, so Xbox obviously went in pretty big with this one as expected. So the S and the X, I don't think, and please anyone correct me, I don't think Xbox has announced these prices, but they leaked out of a database, basically a Best Buy database of what it's going to be for sale as. So it's saying that the S is $549.99 and the X is $899. So pretty big, difference in price there. But the X obviously being, a more powerful unit. So it's got a better CPU. It's got more RAM, bigger hard drive, all that stuff. So
this is also not too out of the ballpark of like what the higher end ROG Allies or handhelds cost.
Correct.
Right now.
Yeah, it's very similar. Yeah.
That's
so they've
fine,
been demonstrating,
but it might not be mass market. Those prices are insane.
definitely not.
They're already not mass market. Yeah. That's, I mean,
all right,
ROG
but
Allies,
we have to treat the conversation with that as the understanding, right? When people talk about these things, it's not in the Switch market. It's something else.
Not at all. Yeah. Not
No.
at all.
I think anyone trying to compete with the Switch is making a mistake, but I think directly.
This is for the enthusiasts. like myself, I will be buying one for $8.99.
No, I was going to ask you guys,
Godspeed.
seriously, like what's your interest here? Because I bought a Steam Deck. I think it's a great piece of kit, but I ended up selling it. Actually, just saw it over at SG. I sold it to her really cheap, just because I never used it. I didn't find myself playing on it. When I'm at home, I'm not going to play on a portable, and when I'm traveling now, Switch 2 kind of fills that void. So I mean, I like the power of this, especially the X. I like the competency of the UI, the kind of streamlined Xbox UI and how it integrates your different ecosystems like we were talking about earlier. So it can pull in your Steam games and other things and storefronts. So it's all good stuff, but it is a $900 with tax $1,000 handheld. So what's the interest here, Travis? You just want to play it because it's a new piece of tech, or do you think you'll actively use it often?
Yeah, I hope I'll use it. It kind of fills a niche for me where, like today, if D and I are playing games together and it's a game that requires 2 separate screens, I've got like the little portable Series S that I can whip out, but it probably would be better if there was some sort of portable device. You save the setup of like a second Xbox on a TV tray or whatever weird solution you're doing there. But more importantly, I will write this off on my taxes, which is, I'm not really in like the average consumer category for this. So like for me, there's really no downside. Yeah. There's no downside for me buying it. So yeah, I'm gonna buy it. And like you, I bought 2 Steam Decks, one for me, one for the wife, and neither of us touch our Steam Decks ever. And also, we got a really weird issue where the battery life on both of the Steam Decks has been reduced to about 15 minutes. So now we have to play like plugged in constantly. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, if it's like unique to us, but yeah, it's pretty brutal.
And it was already bad.
It was already bad, but now like literally you turn it on, it says 100%, and then like 10 minutes later it says like 3%, and you have to like run and grab a cord. So I don't know what the issue is with that. Maybe we left it plugged in too long. Which I thought was a solved issue, but yeah, we had it plugged in for like a couple months at one point. Yeah, so I keep hoping one of these handhelds will catch on with me. Maybe it'll be the Xbox One, maybe not. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm gonna try it though.
What I have heard from people who have used it, because I've talked to people that have played it, is that from a holding it perspective, it feels really, really good, like a large Elite controller, basically, because it's got the full handles and everything. So as opposed to, like, the Switch drives me crazy. I have an aftermarket thing on my Switch, and even the Steam Deck felt really good, but still not up to the level of what I would call feeling like a controller. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little clunky.
Yeah.
I also don't really like the trackpad, and my biggest problem with the Steam Deck is that such a large amount of the library is not playable. So I really hope Xbox isn't like that. We'll see. They're already doing some stuff in their messaging that is implying pretty heavily that not all the games are going to be available there. It's like a certain section of the library.
Yeah.
But it'll really depend on like new games coming out, what percentage will be playable on that device, and that'll be how this device lives or dies in my mind.
Yeah, and I think that Play Anywhere is where they're stressing that, which we talked about, I know, after the announcement in the summer showcase. But being able to buy a game and play it in on your Series X or S, then move to your PC, then move to the handheld, that's really where they're driving towards. But getting third-party support to be Play Anywhere is a whole different question. They've gotten a little bit of it, but there was actually a rumor. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a rumor that Battlefield 6 was Play Anywhere. And that has now been confirmed not to be true. So I think that's going to be the battle you face, is like, if you say you want to be able to take your purchases anywhere, but it's not really anywhere, you kind of have a problem, right? Because now you're talking about a segregation of your PC and your console ecosystem, regardless of what device you're on. So it's, if it's Game Pass, it's great because you can do that automatically. But if your purchases don't come with you, then it's a tougher sell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ains, you said earlier that you have less than zero interest in Call of Duty. I have less than zero interest in these. Like, you might be able to convince me on the S price.
Yeah.
But my Switch 2 entirely fills my needs on this stuff.
Yeah, I think you're one of those people that really adores the Switch and kind of likes that ecosystem, not only for Nintendo games, but just in general, right? So I'm with you. I don't like I said, I think anyone trying to be a direct competitor to Switch is making a mistake. It's just not going to happen. So these are a niche product, but I think there is a core community like the Steam Deck that like them. It's an interesting play from Xbox. I'm very curious, as I said before, to see where Xbox goes the next couple of years, because they do have a new console coming right in the future, and it seems like this direction is play wherever you want to play an Xbox, but that requires certain things to be true, and getting those things to be true can be a challenge.
Yeah, I think I trust Xbox to get the ecosystem right, because they're like, all of their strategies about just getting their games into your hands, and I think this is a very interesting tactic for them because it's very low risk, right? It's not them producing the product, it's a partnership, and so it strikes me as a smart way to experiment with new types of devices. So
Agree.
Yeah. And frankly, I own too many games in the Xbox ecosystem. It's like a shocking amount. So if it lets me play all those games plus the stuff on Game Pass that I don't buy, that would be a huge win. So I'm hopeful for it. It is absurdly priced, but that is what these devices cost in this very very specific niche of the game.
Yeah, you're paying for a PC with a screen. I mean,
a portable PC that can run for more than a few hours. I think they said 4 or 5
with
hours
its
on
own
the
screen. Yeah, they have different battery sizes, but that's obviously due to power consumption too. So we'll see how that shakes out in reality, because I don't trust any of the portables saying what their battery life is until you actually use the damn thing.
Yeah, it's just vibes.
Yeah,
a good amount of time, not so good amount of time, no time at all.
Yeah. But anyway, let us know, leave us a comment if there's something we didn't cover from Gamescom, or something, you wanted to, a game that we didn't touch on, or what your most hyped game is. We'll be happy to call some of those out next week when we come back. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what everyone thought about Gamescom. Obviously it's closing out today, I believe. And, as we're recording this live, so, let us know.
It's a cool show.
Yep.
No doubt. And a ridiculous amount of cool games coming. So, did want to quickly mention just commentary on Pete Parsons stepping down, or seemingly retiring, not just stepping down, as the CEO of Bungie. Long serving member of Bungie, Justin Truman, is going to take over. And it's been reported that Pete Parsons is leaving the company entirely. Now, Pete Parsons, if you don't know, when I say controversial figure, I think that's an understatement. He is, in fact, I know he is incredibly disliked by people who have worked at Bungie that I know as well. So regardless of what you think of them, Bungie, as we've talked extensively on this show, is in a very weird situation at the moment as it is. I don't know if this is going to change any of that direction, but Pete Parsons stepping down, or at least leaving, is generally pretty big news. He's been there a very long time and was a big face, good or bad, for Bungie.
Yeah, so there's been some reporting that Bungie independence is pretty much going away. In fact, I have a source that told me that in no uncertain terms, but I don't have multiple sources enough to write anything about it.
Right.
But it is it's not surprising Pete's leaving. He is very old. The first time I met Pete, love him or hate him, he had a very specific energy. And the last time I saw him, which was a couple months ago, he was very quiet and looked tired. He's like an old guy. So I'm surprised he didn't retire sooner. Maybe it was in the Sony contract that he had to stay on board for a certain amount of time. But I think this is the first change in a series of changes that will alter Bungie's relationship with their parent company. Not particularly surprising, or even like, I don't think Pete specifically is a sign of anything in particular, but there's some other stuff happening in the background, and Truman being tapped as the guy to take over. I think there's some stuff you can read into there, but yeah, some interesting conversations with Bungie former and current employees about this and other things going on. Just cool.
Sorry, I was on mute looking some stuff up. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, there was all kinds of commentary about this. So we'll see. Bungie's in a peculiar place at the moment with Sony.
Indeed.
Don't don't know if you want to just call it out, Hogue. It's usually your space here in terms of these stories because they play in the legal space of what's been going on with Roblox, and I am completely clueless on this because I have been disconnected. So I don't know.
I mean, I think if you're watching the markets or if you're following the news, you know that Roblox, which is, even though we don't talk about it a lot in this space, basically the most popular gaming platform on earth right now, has gone through a lot of trouble based on whether or not they are protecting kids enough in their online platform space. And it's gotten bad enough that the state of Louisiana has sued them. And I might wind up doing a video in virtual legality on this because there are things to talk about as to what the duties are of a platform provider and what they aren't, and whether or not they're violating laws and what they are or not doing. As part of this, they also cracked down on one of their kind of main partner streamers who was also doing, I guess I would describe it as vigilante stings on potential problems for kids and child safety on the Roblox platform. And by coming down as hard as on him as they did, they engendered a whole other movement that they're also dealing with. The end result of which is lots of lawsuits, lots of legal action, and lots of loss in market value, all at the same time for a company that really can't afford it right now. But we will see where that all winds up. And there's certainly some legal analysis to be done as to what's happening there, which I might do on a virtual legality. I don't know if people are interested. You can let me know.
This is an absolutely wild story if you haven't been following it, Ains, and I highly recommend you look into it. There's a series of investigative YouTube videos that I watched. There's some really interesting reporting going on about what's going on at Roblox, but it's one of those things that if you don't know anything about it, it gets really deep and scary pretty quickly. I have been a anti-Roblox guy for a number of years, just because of their general business model and some of the stuff they do that is extremely scummy.
Yes.
It's wild, but the most recent hits of stories is crazy bananas bonkers, and highly recommend looking into it because it's just it's scary stuff. But yeah, very, very cool subject. Would be interested to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay. Well, all right. There you go. We have a couple of super chats, and sorry, Chris, this one's been sitting for a while, but it goes back to a topic we were talking about. So I want to kind of circle back to it rather than interject it. So let's tackle this one.
Christopher Jetser, $5 super chat. Like Travis mentioned, the only concern for Lords of the Fallen 2 is that it's only on Epic, not Steam. Yes, they did that with the first game as well. Or sorry, the second game that they called the first.
Stop
game.
It.
No, it's the first game in Lords of the Fallen, Travis.
Correct.
Not the Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah. Sorry, Lords of the Fallen, the Lord of the Rings game. It was on Epic, and there are some games that do this. There's also some games like Borderlands 4 that for whatever reason is not doing Epic, which is weird because Tiny Tina Wonderland, you had to review that and play it exclusively on Epic. So there's some weird stuff going on.
Epic can't afford to keep Borderlands exclusive. There's no question that check can't be big enough.
Sure. Yeah. Probably correct. But I had been given some messaging from somebody in the industry who said the whole Epic exclusivity thing isn't going to happen. And then immediately after that, I saw 2 big games, including this one that got announced as Epic only. And yes, it does affect sales. People just wait for it to come to the other platform.
That's why I saved this one because we had mentioned this earlier already, but it goes back to, I personally don't understand it. I don't get the Steam cult thing. Maybe if you have a Steam Deck and you're playing constantly on your Steam Deck, it carries other. But otherwise,
honestly, Ames, I think it's just sunk cost. People have enormous libraries on that platform, and so they want to protect it because they feel like they're going to lose access to all their games if there's any competition in the space. So
that might be part of it. I think it's really just inertia that you get used to where you're going to click to get to your games, and you want to be able to see what it is that you have. And if you have too many apps and portals and things, we see this with when every publisher had their own portal and their own outlet, that it made it very complicated. And then people said, we're all going to coalesce around Steam, and it hit that critical mass. And now anybody that tries to get in, it's sometimes too difficult to do so. So Epic decides to fight that with Fortnite bucks, and that's fine. But I think that the people that want to just hit the one button are going to stick with the one button. And the developers have no real reason to not take the Epic check if Epic's willing to sign it,
Right.
because we haven't really seen them penalized when it finally comes over to the platform of choice, Steam, right? So if you're not going to penalize the devs on that, if I'm a dev, I look at it and say, all right, well, as long as I can survive foregoing the amount of money that would come from the sales of this product for 12 months or whatever contract you're signing, I'm going to take that check and then I'm going to sell it anyway just a year later than I had already anticipated.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think we've seen a number of games do that. I know Dead Island 2 was one that we both reviewed on Epic.
Yeah.
Travis. Witchfire, a game I've spoken about a lot, was only on Epic until recently. So I know it's a thing. And even our chat, your chat right now on your side, Hogue, is, people are saying prefer the convenience of being on one. I want all my games in one place. It's just me then, I guess, because
I'm with you too, Ains. Like, it doesn't take a lot of time to download a separate browser or separate launcher and click one button, but some people are really in the pocket, and I honestly think it's just they're self-interested. They own the games there, and they want
that's where they want them. Yeah, one place.
want 'em
I mean,
there.
I get the idea of that, but PC's always been a mess in this space. Like, for instance, even if you play Red Dead 2, you can put it in Steam, but it's still going to open the Rockstar launcher. You've got, you got Epic, you got Xbox. If you want to play Game Pass, like we were talking about, all those games, and now the Xbox One integrates the other storefronts. So I mean, PC is just a mess to begin with. So I just play where they're going to be. It doesn't matter.
You can, if it's
and Steam had all that friction. If you remember back when Half-Life 2 came out a few years back, Steam had all the friction of getting that kind of inertia to begin with. But they have it now, and I think people just like the way they like things. So that's why Epic's had all this trouble.
Yeah. To get my Steam library down.
I also think it's probably generational aims. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of Gen Z people who do not care what storefront it's on or don't have that same inertia. So I'm kind of hopeful there will be an opportunity for some competition in space. I just don't think organically occurring monopolies are a good thing usually.
Yeah, and I hear
it's not a monopoly at all.
How is it not a monopoly on PC?
It doesn't control any aspect of your access to the games.
Well, it certainly seems like it at times.
Are you familiar with what a monopoly is, Travis?
Of course.
It's a single seller of the goods and services. Steam is not remotely a single seller of the video games on its platform.
It has a controlling, I would say it has a stranglehold on storefronts.
It has a large market share, presumably because it's providing a good or service that people want. It's not a monopoly provider of the goods and services on its platform.
Yeah, that's not what I said, though.
You said it was a monopoly. It's not a monopoly at all. Let's use our words right.
Or you can just back off and just understand what I'm saying instead of making straw men.
I should assume that you are not meaning what you are saying with your words.
No, I just think, there's a difference. Look, you can be as big of a prick as you want, and I will just say the things that I want to say. But yeah, you can fuck off.
If we're going to use the word monopoly, we should use it properly.
Yeah, I think you know what I meant, and you're just being a dick. So have fun with that.
I don't even know what to say. You guys can debate on that. I was going to simply say, Christopher says something that I hear often in this space, which is the Epic Store is bad or the Xbox Store is bad. And I get that. Like, as a platform,
they're right, by the way.
No, I know.
They're all
I know.
bad.
I get that. They're not great, but I still don't understand. It's me again. I don't understand, like, the store is bad. Dude, I'm hitting a buy button and installing the game. Like, yeah, it may not be as nice to look at or whatever. It takes you 5 seconds. I don't understand the concept of a store is bad. Like,
I mean, Epic launched without a cart, right? Like, that was a big deal for a lot of people. And some people like to use the reviews on Steam, and they like the other things that Steam does, have the discussion forums. That's a nice feature within the Steam platform.
Yeah, they're also the Xbox One.
That's not buying a game. That's a platform feature.
But you made it just buying a game. And like, when people say they like to be on Steam, it's like, this is where I like to think about my PC gaming.
Oh, well, I was talking about the store. Sorry. He said Epic Store is bad. So, because I hear that often. I hear the store, like buying a game, is
Oh, you're talking about not the launcher, because
I get the platform. Steam as a platform is much more fully featured. I get that.
Exactly. And I get the desire to do that. No competitor is going to launch as feature full as Steam, but
sure,
it's just hard to get people off of the stuff they know, especially when they have invested a lot in it.
It's fair. I just cool, fair enough. But anyway, the whole point of me saving this and bringing it back up is because it speaks to exactly what we said earlier, which is there is a big part of the PC gaming community that will only buy games on Steam. Be it no matter whether you agree with that or not, it doesn't matter. It's a fact. And so, when they take these epic exclusives, as Hogue was saying, and just taking the bag and then waiting to launch on Steam, we always see the increase in players or sales, for those companies when they go on Steam. So I just find it interesting, really. So anyway, Chris, thank you. Sorry for letting that one sit for so long. Shout out to Shoosh, who resubbed on SG side. Thank you, Shoosh. Always appreciate you. And Don has a super chat as well.
Don Lionheart, $2 super chat. Getting good Switch 2 usage with Pokemon on TV.
Yep.
Rolling over laughing.
I don't even know what this means.
I believe it means he's playing the Pokemon games in a docked mode on the TV.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't get why that's funny though. The laughing thing is what confuses me about that one. Why is
we were talking about portability and what the Switch can do. So he's saying, I too am enjoying my Switch while it's docked.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah, I pretty much never play my Switch when it's docked, but I seem to be in the minority. It seems like lots of people like to play it on TV.
I almost only play on TV. Yeah. I thought I was the minority, but it doesn't matter. That's the nice thing about the Switch. You play it however you want.
Just based on my sample size of like 15 people who've told me that they play primarily on the TV, I've been like, really? I thought the whole point was playing remotely, and that's how I play it. I play it on the go. In fact, I have a hard time playing Switch games on the couch because I think, well, I can't play Xbox in the car, so might as well play my Xbox games here and then play the Switch when I'm, traveling or whatever. Like I always want to save my Switch games for when I'm traveling.
Well, I mean, we've said it everyone's said it a million times, but it is credit to Nintendo. That's what they nailed with the Switch, right? It doesn't matter. You're playing the same thing. So anyway, Don, thank you for the super chat. Let's see. So there was one more thing I was going to say. Oh, about Pokemon. One game we didn't mention is I saw, obviously a lot of hype for is it Pokemon Legends ZA? ZA coming in October as well. So you Pokemon guys excited for that one?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, ZA looks cool.
Hope it's good.
Okay. Action battles, one city, mysteries to solve, cool fashion.
What's not to like? Is there a new generation of Pokemon on this one?
No, this is a Legends game.
Okay.
So this is coming off of the XY generation.
Got it.
All I saw was GI saying it's one of the most exciting Pokemon games to come around in years. So I don't know why. I don't have the context as to why that.
So it's part of the Legends franchise. So this is the Arceus line of Pokemon. So it's trying to do, this is their experimental line, and they are doing some stuff that they did in Arceus, and then they've changed, I think for the first time in any remotely mainline Pokemon game, from turn-based battles to action-based battles. And I think a lot of people are excited about it. It looks like a cool design.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Also, it's like the first Pokemon game that's not going to be just limited by Nintendo hardware in the same way it was. They've got some new hardware to work with. Hopefully that'll make it playable or a little more ambitious.
Scarlet got a big glow up on the Switch too.
Yeah, you have mentioned that. I have not checked that out myself, but I just think they probably were designing these games around the hardware they knew they had to use. And so my hope is that maybe they've had enough runway with this one that they've designed it with Switch 2 hardware in mind. And Game Freak famously is terrible at optimizing their games. Like, yeah, they just aren't good at doing it. And so I think they need all the help they can get. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I saw this one. I know we forgot to mention it. So anyway, boys, it's been a long show. Good to be back with episode 350. Audience, you've been great today. So appreciate running down everything. Hogue, I know we were joking that this has been a long one here, so I don't want you to collapse at your desk. Let's go ahead and close this one out. We will be back to our normal schedule, of course. So we'll be here every Sunday. Just real quick on the SG side of the house, as I think I already mentioned most of these, but we have reviews up on the site for Mafia, Old Country, Herdling, Echoes of the End. You can check all those out. We also have a really good perspective piece or opinion piece on Expedition 33, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, and the Case for Creative Freedom. Stacy, our newest contributor, wrote that. He also did a video, so you can check that out on the channel as well.
I was going to tell you that the YouTube algorithm fed that to me. Now, I get a little bit more seasoned gaming content than maybe the average person because I have the Bitcast going through my channel and whatnot, but it is still rare for the Watch This Now to put a seasoned gaming video up right in front of me. So I saw that because of that.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, we obviously, especially with me traveling and being busy at work, we haven't done non-Bitcast videos as often. We've done reviews, of course, but like just other kind of stuff. So it was nice to get this up. It's well-written, well-spoken kind of perspective. Whether you agree with it or not, is one thing. But, he talks about the success of Expedition 33, how they achieved that success and why it's maybe a good perspective for the industry on how they go about game development. So it's pretty cool. So check that out if you would, please. Hogue, I'll pass to you. What do you got? What do you want?
Yeah, well, I've been keeping up my cadence of 2 videos on my channel per week on the weeks that I'm not at a lake. So this past week, I did a Virtual Legality Part 3 of the payment processor situation that we've been talking about on my side of the world so much. So I went over the White House's debanking executive order, how executive orders work, what they do and don't do, because the gaming community was talking about how this executive order did things that it didn't, et cetera, et cetera. So you can check that out in Virtual Legality. I think it's a really good video. I also did a Hangouts and Headlines that talked about the settlement of the Gina Carano lawsuit with Disney, the one that is funded by Elon Musk, in respect of her comments on Twitter and X. And so I think that was a really good conversation. We went through the original lawsuit, what a settlement means, what it doesn't. And I think those are 2 good conversations on the channel. So those are both available on the Hogue Law side of the house. And I look forward to hopefully recovering from this episode and having enough energy to make another couple videos for you all this week.
Okay. Fair enough. Travis, what you want to call out?
I don't got nothing. You can read my preview of a game I didn't play, Project Spectrum. That's really all I put out in the past 2 weeks, and starting to review tomorrow. But yeah, I've got really nothing to promote, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Catching up on games, getting ready for the quiet before the storm that's coming. Starting next week.
Basically starts next week. Yeah.
Yeah. We're also, I think I'm doing a re-review of Path of Exile 2. I attended the they did a like preview of what's coming in Path of Exile 2 media briefing. Thank you. And they showed that they're changing a whole bunch of stuff and adding a 4th act to the game, and it's probably enough to do like at least a review update like we did for Hogwarts Legacy for the Switch. So probably going to work on something like that. But the changes look sick. I'm excited to get back into that one.
Yeah, sadly, I couldn't make that last one with the preview.
Well, it was crazy hours. I attended it at 10 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, because they do it on New Zealand time.
11:30. Yeah, I was like, why am I at a preview event at midnight?
But I mean, that game is already excellent, and I mean, like we said from the start, give PoE 2 a few years, and it's going to be a just legendary ARPG.
Yeah.
So
probably a 10 out of 10 by the end. We'll see. They seem to be making the right choices.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk about, and not to get on another topic, but Rod Ferguson leaving Diablo to head up Cloud Chamber to try and fix Bioshock yet again. So kind of interesting news.
Shit. I did not see that headline.
Yeah, he left and he's to Cloud Chamber. Cloud Chamber let people go, and they're bringing Rod in to, I guess, try and figure out what the hell they're doing with Bioshock 4.
He's the fixer.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Did the same with Infinite, right? So I don't know the.
You could argue he did the same with Diablo.
That's weird. Because when he left Gears, he said that he would only leave Gears because he gets to work on his favorite game of all time,
which is Diablo. Yeah.
And now he's working on Bioshock. They must have paid him a lot of money.
I have no doubt.
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
That's crazy. Good for Rob.
Yeah, so.
I'll miss our twice yearly interviews where we talk about what is going on.
He's a real good dude. I've had the
He's a
pleasure
nice
speaking
guy.
to him. He is. He's really down to earth. So, but clearly he gets shit done in some form. So
that's an important role.
Yeah, very. Yeah. So
anyway, what's that role? What's the job title, Hope?
Shit getting done.
Project manager.
That's a boring title. We can come up
I
with
really doubt that's his title.
No, his title will be creative director or something, but it's the role is project manager.
Creative
producer.
Yeah.
It's keeping the Excel spreadsheets in line for deliverables. I don't know if that's what the championship is based on, but that's what that's what the get shit done guy is.
No, that is definitely not the championship. Way more advanced. Oh, you don't understand what you're stepping into.
All right.
Why you play Monster Train. No, but my guess is I don't think he's actually working on the finances. I think he just is deciding like direction for the game and like corralling people. Just my conversations with him, that seems to be his skill set of like getting people on the same page and being like, this is the game we're gonna make.
Yeah, I didn't mean to imply anything on finances. I meant literally the project management of
moving
assets around and timing.
Excel sheets, right? So
I did, like, but do you only use Excel for your finances? Because I use it for all sorts of planning.
Tell me what planning you're doing in Excel.
Schedules and calendars.
You're not using like Airtable?
What
do we do?
Come on.
He's got a very old. I don't know about Hoag's tech stack, but I'm not. It's not really. It's not.
My tech stack it begins and ends at Microsoft 365. So
he's got a server farm right behind the shelf there. You don't understand.
Think he's like, I don't know, man. It's a little archaic.
My thumbnails are built in PowerPoint. Will you leave me be?
Is that real?
Yes.
Dude, your tech stack is crazy.
We've talked about this.
Wait. So how are you doing videos? How are you making videos? You have to.
I make videos on a raw stream, which I try not to edit, and if I have to, I use a free editing program to edit timelines. That's it.
Wow.
He's downplaying right now because he's preparing to blow everyone away at next year's championships.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he's a sleeper.
Yeah, he's he's setting the stage right here.
Well, Hoag, I got some notes about your tech stack, but more power to you.
I'm sure you do.
You're keeping it tight, and that's the important thing, you know. That the budget is
in 2025. I got to keep costs low, Travis. I don't know about your situation.
I guarantee you, game studios are not using Excel for that sort of thing. They're it's probably got a very limited use case at a company of that.
But
size.
He is, for whatever reason, like, I mean, jokes aside, right? He is that guy, and that is a rare skill when you talk about big multi-year projects with big teams, is getting people aligned and getting shit done on a timeline. It's not easy. So, and I've met way too many people in my career that aren't very good at it.
I was gonna say, and not losing the room, not having everybody want to murder you.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah. So clearly he's talented at that, and I hope he does it for Bioshock, because my God, we need a new and good quality Bioshock game.
We didn't really see any Judas at this show, did we?
No,
I don't think Judas exists.
Huh?
I think it exists. I just think it's like,
I think it's a trailer. That was a vertical slice trailer. That's all it was.
They decided to make a fake trailer that looks exactly like Bioshock.
Have some faith, people. Have some faith.
I think it's been abandoned.
Oh, I don't think so. I think Ken Levine's working on it.
Joke. It was a joke. Abandoned
never existed.
Also true.
That was his reference.
Anyway,
I got it, Ains.
Yeah, we're abandoning this chat because we're nearly at 3 hours. The audience has won again. The Make Bitcast a 3-hour show has won yet again. But we are done for today.
We have.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who checked out our kind of small videos while we were gone. Appreciate that. They were just a fun little thing that we did off on the side. And thank you for hanging out with us today, of course. As I said, leave us a comment about what you thought of Gamescom, your biggest game that you're looking forward to, anything else you're anticipating we might not have touched on. And other than that, we will see you next week. Until then.
Goodbye.